And let me say welcome again to another fresh edition of the program, The Bottom Line. This program, The Bottom Line Liberia, comes your way every Tuesday and Friday here on Facebook. And we stream live on YouTube as well, and also on our online radio. So if you be joining us today for the first time, we say welcome to you. And if you are our regular viewer, we also let us say welcome as usual. On tonight's edition of the program, we have a house full of information, but our panelists, as usual, they are here in full. The only lady, we say ladies first, right? The only lady on the show tonight, Madam Orita Meno, lives in Sweden, and also Jima Kamara is there in the UK, Manchester City to be specific, and Paul the Lord Chirupe is also here. He's from London, and I'm in Norway. And by way of introduction, my name is Linford Weah. I'm your host, along with my co-hosts and panelists. Welcome to Bottom Line, the program that discusses issues about Liberia, and we give you the facts from the top to the bottom. We raise the issue, we analyze it, and we give our own conclusions. So welcome, and let me say welcome to you guys. Chima.
Oh, thank you for having me. Always great to be on the platform. This is where we discuss the right issues regarding Liberia, and wherever you are, we say thanks for joining us from the heart of Europe, from Sweden, Norway, and the UK. Wherever you are, we say thank you very much, and we'll be here every day. On every Tuesdays and Friday. Thanks for having me, Linford. Thank you very much,
and Orita.
Hello, guys. Nice to see you guys. It's been a while. I hope you all are doing well. And hello to our listening audience.
Good. And so it seems that we're all set to go. Like I said, on tonight's edition of the program, we have important information for you, and some are breaking news. And so we'll be back after this musical interlude. Stay with us, share the video, and invite your friends.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach in thee, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us a little and abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not to corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are heroes? Where are the gods that they say they go for? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the for us. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the tendencies to be? You see, we just tell you that why we both tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and little on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Okay, they can lie, they can steal, they are corrupt, they are just about everything. So, welcome, guys, and once again, uh, I don't know where to start. So, Jima, I beg you, please do this other intro, and do your intro, and after Paul will come, and Urita will be the last. But let's welcome our viewers. So, Jima, get going.
All right. Okay. Very much. Thank you very much. And we want to say welcome once again to the Bottom Line Liberia, where we explain training issues for Liberia and around Liberia, more especially from where we say it's in Europe. We say in Europe, we are based in Europe, and I just want to tell you today we'll be looking at some other things. What are making news in Liberia today, and I'm talking from Holland. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just in Holland last week. I'm sorry about that. I'm speaking to you from Manchester, and I'll be joining you from here today. And just to let you know, we're doing great. And I think I'm very excited to be here. We're going to be discussing burning issues that are making news in Liberia.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be back on Bottom Line. This is the Lord Chilopeo of London, precisely in Croydon. And I'm excited to be back here for another good edition. And I'm looking forward to tonight's discussion. And to our viewers, welcome to the Great Bottom Line. This is where we go deep into the bottom of everything that we discuss, and we have our own opinion. If you join us for the first time, kindly share our show and click on the like button to be notified whenever it comes on. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to be back. You guys look great from that end. I've seen the beautiful faces from the Scandinavia, and then one from the great city of Manchester. Man, you guys look good. It look like the winter weather look good with you people.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I just want to say.
Intro and welcome.
Oh, sorry, Linford.
Yeah, no, go ahead, give your intro.
Ooh, As you all know, this is Orita from the Kingdom of Sweden in Scandinavia. I just want to welcome our viewers and say hello to you, gentlemen.
Okay, you've heard the introduction and the welcome remarks, and so uh, we're going to go right into business. The past week has been a tough one politically, and we expect that from now going forward, in the 200 and some more days that we have up to October 10, 2023, politically it's going to be hot. Politically, there will be crossfire. Politically, men will be moving, men will be falling. The strong shall survive politically because the political battle is on. And the least that anybody expect will be happening, and the most that anybody expect will also be happening. So we've been seeing something that looks or appears to be a break of marriage, political marriage, um, among the parties that made up the coalition for democratic change, the CDC. Hmm? They are the Congress for Democratic Change, the MDR of Prince Johnson, the NPP of Madam Joe Howard Taylor, and the FPDP of Alex, former House Speaker Alex Tyler. Now, it's shaking. The coalition is shaking. This political marriage is shaking. News are coming that parties are breaking away because things did not go the way it was arranged to go for the past 5, almost going to 6 years. And so these parties that are leaving are aggrieved on grounds that they do not see their way clear. If you didn't do it for the first term, 6 years, you may not do it during your last term, at which time we will not have any grip on you anymore. You'll be leaving. So you don't care for anybody. So this is why they are breaking away. And the breakaway has brought or has brewed some tension between President Weah and Mr. Prince Johnson of the MDR. In recent times, if you've been following the news, for you, our viewers, you will realize that there have been war of battle or battle on the pulpit, as we call it. And the interesting thing about it, gentlemen, Paul and Jemima, is that President Weah and Prince Johnson do not call, both men do not call press conference to vent out their ego or their anger, but they take on the pulpit where people go to church to live of God, of salvation. There they sit and throw words. And this is becoming very unprecedented. So the question that I want us to look at is, how far is it going to go, and how do you guys think it's going to end this war on the pulpit?
Right. Guys, thank you very much. The last time I was on this very platform, and I said to you that the Honorable Senator Prince Johnson should leave the church and come on, to the public. I mean, have a proper press conference to engage his opponent, whoever he called. This is a cheap way of addressing an issue that we need to look into, and you can't use the puppet, and it's quite expensive for them and to organize a press conference. Second, if you really want to address the issue, come out to the public, have a press conference, let the press ask you the necessary questions, the relevant questions. But once you can't do that, you end up behind the puppet to throw stones. That's what they do. It's not fair. But these guys are in all directions, in all factions. They have breached integrity. They have breached a lot of conduct. They have breached every decent law in that country. So they are using the house of God to attack each other. Is that what we're looking at here? You don't do that, man. Now, I mean, it's been doing this for long. I don't know why we are really realizing this at this moment. We've been talking about this months and months. this when the president came up with this Jamaica resort, and we knew that it was another platform that you're using to criticize or attack his supposed to be opponents. And also, preacher just has been doing it lately. If you want to get the attention of the media, he goes to the church. Instead of preaching the gospel, he's a man of God. He preaches the truth, so you have to speak the truth. So you begin to attack other people. So this is wrong. I think if they, I think they need to be a gentleman to come out there and face the press, where this press will ask the right questions, and so we will all know, because we want to know. There are a lot of hidden questions. I mean, hidden answers we want to know. A lot of things that's not coming clear. They need to tell us. So they can't do that in the church because nobody asks them in the church. Once you are behind a pulpit, you'll be talking, and nobody asks you when you sing. Though just say, okay, hallelujah, thank God. That's it. That's it. No other response that come through. So we asked them to come up and tell us what are their concerns, so we can ask the relevant questions. That's the only best we can address the issue, so the people will know what are the issues are.
But how long do you think this war on the pulpit in the house of God will continue, and how is it going to end from your view?
I think what we need to do is to they need to come out, like the Liberians themselves, the journalists, which seem to be the watchdog of the community or the society, should really sing this song and have a real talk show on these things, make a full name call. You need to stop hiding behind the pulpit and come out. And then you're going to continue up to, we have like roughly 10 and a half months or roughly 10 months now to go. So it will continue. They're not going to hang on anymore. I mean, you can see the relationship between the president and the senator is already gone away. Is the relationship has broken apart. They are not together anymore. So we know what they're doing right now is to attack each other. So it's going to continue. This is the time. This is the space of politics. It's election time. So we don't expect it to be easy anymore. It's going to be a hot place. It's a hot zone. It's a very hostile zone. So it's not going to end. For me, it's going to end probably in 2024. It may not even end. It may even end up calling for the senator to go to court. This is where it may lead to. And that could be a scary part for him. And it could be very dangerous for the situation in Liberia, because he thinks that if he's been touched or he's been chased, a lot of things will happen. He has threatened this. He has threatened society. Like anybody threatening to take him down, a lot of people go down with him.
And this is why I'm asking that question. But Paul, what do you think? How long are they going to drag on this, as Jima call it, hiding behind the pulpit to throw stones?
My man, firstly, I would like to say to our viewers for the first time that joining us, welcome to the bottom line. This is where we deep down into issue that concerning us. We go to the bottom of it. And if your first time, can you click on the like button so whenever we come on, you notify. The thing is, Linford and Jamal, why is it? I will ask the question before I answer. Why is it wicked people always go behind the pulpit to preach and throw jobs?
Well, God loves everybody, and the Bible says that I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So we may consider certain people wicked, but it's God at the end of the day who has the final judgment. So
Right. So if God have the final judgment, I know people can go to theological seminar to learn how to be a pastor. You cannot go doing bad things. The next day you wake up, you open church, and you say you become self-proclaimed pastor and be throwing jobs. I will start with my own good friend, His Honorable, the President, Excellency. He refused to speak to the nation, but he'll go behind the pulpit to throw jabs at opposition and people that are not in favor of him. Is that where he was elected for in the first place? And you become the father of the land. If you cannot speak to your children, you only sit behind the pulpit and throw jabs. Prince Johnson made an allegation against him. I'm not going to support you because of X, Y, Z. Be man enough and come and say, look, and speak to the public. They may have not spoken to the public for the past 5 years since he's been in office. So the wicked thing have been happening in the country. They never address it, but they go behind the pulpit and throw jobs. Remember those editors that were killed and they found them on Broad Street. The president went behind the pulpit and say, oh, that boyfriend and girlfriend thing they were on. This is a guy that refused to speak to the nation. So I don't think those two, and we'll find a video and play it. The president accused Prince Johnson of killing people, but there is a war crime court that need to come to Liberia. If Prince Johnson, he know that Prince Johnson have murdered people in his own video, why is it that he cannot bring the World Economic Crime Court in Liberia? So why is he hiding? So these are things we'll look at. And Prince Johnson said his left is threatening, and he have the legitimate right to say if somebody threatening his left to come on and say it. If the president know that Prince Johnson killed people, then bring the War and Economic Crime Code to Liberia. Let people be prosecuted for the crime they committed. So
Okay, but
I just see these are
let me ask you quickly, the both of you. Do you think Prince Johnson is also taking onto the pulpit to attack President Weah or to respond to him simply because President Weah has been doing it before? Because Prince Johnson is known for giving press conferences. He does press conferences that I know.
that's right.
For him not to be mounting the pulpit to attack President Weah and President Weah attacking from the pulpit, do you think it's a result of what President Weah has been doing that made Prince Johnson to go the same route?
Right. I would say usually the children learn from their father. Like I support Arsenal. So all my kids they support Arsenal today because of me. You learn from your father. So Weah is a father of the nation, saying his talent, everybody will follow suit. That's how I see it. So Prince Johnson have not copied from Weah because Prince Johnson he doesn't draw by. He'll call press conference anytime he wants to. But if he go behind the pulpit, he learn from his dad, which is the president.
You think the thing about it, you gotta hear me.
Loud and
Yeah.
clear.
It's about being a bit cheap. That's the first and foremost. Second, we need to ask questions.
So who's cheap here now? Weah or
All of
Prince?
them are cheap, politically cheap. That's what I'm trying to say. Not financially cheap, but politically cheap in the terms that they are trying to avoid questions, relevant questions. Because the two people are key in Liberian politics at the moment. So we need to ask them questions. So if you're behind the pulpit, nobody's going to ask you questions. If you are facing the journalists, you have a press conference where we can sit and ask you the relevant questions. Then the issue is because to avoid the question, George Weah, for instance, the president, he never had any chance of, he didn't attempt to have any debate. That's the first thing you know that you will not attend any debate. Second, he's not a man brave enough to face, our journalists. He's not brave enough to face our journalists to ask two questions. There are a lot of questions you need to answer. A lot of questions you need to answer. Likewise, Honorable Senator Prince Johnson, he got a lot of questions to answer. So at the time, at some point, he knew that at some point you organize the press conferences. At some point, most of the journalists will go personally. Journalists will dig deep. At some point, in regard to some issues, he will snap. So he avoid that to use the pulpit. So the best way to do it is to go behind the pulpit, use the word of gospel to deliver rubbish. This is what they are doing right now. They're using the house of God to deliver rubbish. And which is they should stop and come and face the people that they think they want to govern. They need to stop.
Okay.
And they are politically cheap. That's why they're using the pulpit.
Okay, Paul, I think you had that video. So if you can find a video for Senator Johnson first, and then probably we'll come to President Weah's video.
Jamal left flow. Let me find a video while we but looking at this using the gospel, I think is wrong. So while looking for the video, talk to us. It's not a right thing. Would they happen with people? It's only Christianity will accept it. This won't happen in somebody will go in the mosque and just start throwing jabs. Only Christian will accept this sort of behavior in Liberia. And before I found a video, what do they have council or churches still in Liberia? Because
But Paul, why are you looking for the video? Do you know the house rules for the council of churches? Because what you do in my church, what I do in my church is the will of my will. It's not your will. Do they have a rules and terms and conditions of council of churches that tell you how do you preach in your church? It's the Council of Churches. I don't think it's governed the way the PU, Press of Union of Liberia, other associations, professional institutions are governed, because they have a rule of law. They got conduct. They got you say that something that guide in terms of conduct, in terms of what do you release, your utterances and stuff like that when you're a professional institution.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about the concept of churches. Somebody probably could tell me more about that. What I know of, if we talk about a religion, they are everywhere, even in the very mosque. People use that to throw jabs, which is sometimes you will notice that in this West, most of those uninformed imam will use the very a place where they preach, talk about attacking other people, which is not acceptable in any religion for that matter. You don't preach to kill anybody else. And if you're reading the Quran upside down, that's what happened. You end up asking people to go harm other people. So it happens everywhere. Every religion will use, any other religion. It depends the person who delivering the gospel or the word of God. That's how they behave. If you don't know your subject matter, you will begin to attack other people using the word of God. It happens everywhere. But to answer your question with regard to does it happen in the mosque? Of course it does.
I think I came across it. Let me share this quickly.
Trying to manipulate, impress. Until I came from watching home, so people don't impress me. Especially people that you drink people every day, already, you want to blackmail you. Anybody that don't want to vote for us, will not be blackmailed. Anybody that will ask me for money because they're going to declare for my party, I'd rather get money to the people that when you can speak to them on the table now, they're going on there, you have to let somebody want to kill somebody? Yes, sir. But you forget to know that those that you killed already, the people that maybe they're already there, they're not going to go and say somebody want to assassinate you. Who are you? That's somebody will go from here. Because nobody want to work with you. You manipulate people every day. Are you infallible? Okay, we know what you can go where you want to go. Now you can say, government market. What government can you? Do you know why you get in the country? We're trying to make sure that everybody working peacefully. You understand? So, and we're not afraid of anybody. And the government is going to be attacked, neither or blackmailed by anybody. You don't want to work with us? You want to see that? You got other people. But you forgot to know that the people, you in coalition, and that coalition brought everybody on board. Yeah. If you the leader of the coalition is leaving, you got to deal with all your people. Yeah. Those are in the job because we'll move them and put people that come in. Oh, we're leaving all that, you must know. Yeah. They are all who they're not following them. They got to stick for your own livelihood, your children, and your family. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. When you follow them, because you think that they can drive you, then other people that come in will get the space. Yeah. This is for everybody's business. It's not one for the business. And will not be faster than anybody because of who
This is quite interesting. There are a lot of things coming up now. You see what I'm talking about? This guy's been asking for money, and I think George was tired of paying his money, so he needs to come out. And not only that, another question comes to me in my mind is this now George Weah knows that Prince Johnson was a killer?
Exactly.
Is this now George Weah knows that Prince Johnson is manipulating people? Is this now he knows that Prince Johnson? I don't know, man. This is you see, I was talking about how they use the word of God or the church, the house of God to gather other people. You see what the audience was saying, the churchgoers were saying. When anything you say, yeah, man, hallelujah. I mean, they're praising it. They're telling you, yeah, they're giving all the. You don't do that at a press conference. You won't do that at a press conference. And when you say something like that, what happened? It generates questions from the press. So there are people that will be when you say something that they want to hear or they don't want to hear, they won't make you feel fine. They'll be shouting, yeah, that's true. Yeah, man. Amen. That's the right thing. Nobody gonna ask you. So that's the best way. If you want to do anything, Paul, like you said to me before the show, that you want to set up a church and or whatever you want to set up, that's another thing. If you don't want anybody to ask you questions, you use the church. Go ahead and say any rubbish you want to say, and nobody will ask you questions, because we'll raise people, you will buy people, give them money to go to your church, they fill up that church so they can say, fill out your room, and camera going all over the place telling them the church is a man of God, and he preaching the word of God. And anything you say, nobody going to ask you. So this is what happening. You know what happening? We now know that Prince Johnson took money from George Weah. We now know that he's asking George Weah for money. George Weah is refusing. We also now know that his spirit justice has been manipulating politicians. We also now know that he knew very well that Prince Johnson is a profound murderer, and he accepted to be a member of a coalition. Why now he's saying that? Why now? This is why the journalists will be asking. That's what I'm saying. They won't face the journalists, gentlemen. They will not face them. They will use the horse of God to release rubbish. I call them rubbish. Then, if there are many enough, then I come out at this time and we will ask them the necessary questions. If there are many enough, two of them, they can even face Alexander B. Cummings. That's for even the press. So, go ahead, guys.
No, so George, we all know today Prince Johnson is a murderer, but then the TRC report is on his desk to sign. So if this guy is a notorious murderer and he know what the guy did, what is he waiting for? That is my question. So Linford, I don't know your take on this, but what is he waiting for?
Yeah, but thing is, sorry, before Linford, I know Linford coming. With here, it's not about Prince Johnson. There are a lot of names on that list. So if you bring in Johnson down, a lot of people go down. So it's not only about Johnson. So this guy's is choked to a level that he has to be very careful. He had to be very, very, very selective. And if he's been pushed to bring TRC recommendations into action, it may even bring himself down. So there where the issue is.
So because the reason why I'm asking these guys, according to Yeke Koluba and according to Mr. Cummings' exchange letter with George Weah and him, according to Yeke Koluba, Weah supported the war. According to Mr. Cummings, they have facts that Weah supported the war. He brought arms to the country. So the reason why I'm saying this, that the TRC report is there, these two people, we are saying we know what he did. Prince Johnson said we know what this man did, because they go into the church, throwing back and think they went to TD Jakes and all that. It's in Prince Johnson on a sermon. So why are these two people now using the church if they know that something wrong? Why they can't go to the point and deliver these things for Liberia? Because there was a promise made by Weah when he became president, he will deliver the war and economic crown code to Liberia. And he know one of the people that did one of the worst thing in Liberia is in his camp. So is that why he refused? I think Linford, because I just get emotional when I talk about this. You muted, Linford.
Sorry. As I sat and listened to or watched a video and listened to President Weah, I was like, is he really serious? In a serious country, I think the House of Representatives and Senate would have been preparing some impeachment for President Weah. You know that he indicted himself. Prince Johnson is sanctioned by the Americans for what they call pay to play. Paul is a good singer. I want to hear the song. So I give Paul money. Paul come and sing for me. Or I'm having my party. Paul say, my man, you know I can sing. So give me money. Let me sing for you. So I have to agree to give Paul the money for Paul to sing for me, right? Or if I go to Paul, Paul has to agree to take my money to sing for me, right? So the two of us are in a deal that we both know what I can do and what Paul can do. So it's not strange. Nobody's taking anybody by surprise here in this particular instance. So President Weah knew that Prince Johnson will accept money in order to give him vote. And he willingly gave Prince Johnson that money, and Prince Johnson did what? Offer him the vote. And so Prince Johnson was caught in the act, and he's on sanction for pay to play. So who was paying here? So it's President Weah. So I think the Americans should be listening. The Americans should know, because, let me tell you, there in criminal justice, there is something called accomplice or accomplices. If I go to steal and I tell Paul, stand to the door there and watch me and watch for me. If somebody come in, you must let me know and let me so I can run or so can run away. Paul will be an accomplice in that crime that I committed or that I'm committing. So if Prince Johnson is on sanction for pay to play, and somebody admit that Prince Johnson have been asking for money, manipulating people, and that person willingly went into an agreement with Prince Johnson in 2016 or 2017, and they won an election, and they have been in this marriage for the entire 5 years. So somebody is at stake here. It's not only Prince Johnson alone. So the Americans, I hope you are listening. It came from President Weah's Umov. He indicted himself. Okay. And to come to your question as to whether it was now or when last did George Weah know that Prince Johnson is a murderer, George Weah was active in Liberia during the wartime, in that he served as UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador to disarm, to help with the disarmament process. Okay. And I was somewhere on one talk show where somebody testified that George Weah, during one of those disarmament exercises, he told the youth that were being disarmed that those of the people who are disarming today will be responsible for you, and the people who armed you will have to pay the price. The War and Economic Crimes Code will come to Liberia and will pay the price. And this George Weah became president. The promises he made as UNICEF ambassador, he had not accomplished that promise by bringing any perpetrator of the war to the War Crimes Code. But he went in marriage with one of the major players. In fact, from all accounts, Prince Johnson was the most prominent player in the world for the fact that he grabbed the living president and killed him. Okay? So he went into marriage with him, and only to come out today because they have some sour relationship, to begin to condemn the man and call him killer and call him manipulator, blackmailer. So somebody must be responsible for Prince Johnson to be a blackmailer here, or for Prince Johnson to be a pay-to-play mayor. I don't know how Richard will look at it, or how you guys look at my analysis, but I think somebody must be held responsible. And that person is President Weah.
The thing is, when it comes to this, Prince Johnson and his relationship with Weah, I think it's this thing where I will have to agree with you. These two people, I mean, they know their deals. They once crafted behind closed doors. And this is the thing too, because going back, CDC 12 years, has opposition. It was this thing where they swore that they will prosecute, those who, participated in the war. But ever since they came to power, all of a sudden, they struck a deal with Prince Johnson and everything was kumbaya. And now Prince Johnson is like, I mean, he wants more. And we are now, it's like, no, I cannot give you more. So it's this thing, the big way back and forth. So, I mean, I agree with you. They know what they are doing, you know. They are trying to see, Weah is trying to say, no, I'm not going to give you money right now. Prince said, if you don't give me money, I'm going to go. So the other one is trying to see how far they can take this. So for me, they are just really like, it's like a public bargain, you know, to see, okay, you know, since you said no, I will not do what you want me to do till you add up my money. Then the other guy said, no, I gave you money the other time. That wasn't enough. I'm not going to give you money. So for me, the whole thing, I just see like they are just playing with the Liberian people's future and the well-being of our nation, honestly, because the whole thing is a circus. Everything around Joshua, I just feel like our country has become a circus in my, you know, this is my opinion. And that's something we see. Just the fact that you have a president who not one day he will address the nation, even if it's colloquial, he's speaking, but will go in the house of God. And he's there, you know, like carrying gossip, diminishing, you know, the citizen he vowed to lead. And that's something when I sit and think, I'm like, is this really happening in Liberia? This 2023 or the 2022? And I mean, is this really happening in our country? So for me, I just feel like it's just a little circle show to put it on to see who will give in first. So I agree with you, Nimba. Like you said, you know, it's something, you know, we are all the Prince Johnson have on. I mean, they have on each other.
and yeah, because you know, because if you somebody, you know, sorry, let me just give the analogy.
I beg you, live for something original straight. I just want Reverend Cummings to come on the program and come because he's a man of God. What these guys are doing to our people in Liberia.
Yeah, I told him to come.
Flow.
Yeah. So I told Reverend Cummings to come. I don't know whether he's a bit busy. But the thing is, what's unfolding now is like you got your girlfriend. You and the girl, you've been together for all the time. Then all of a sudden, and you carrying the girl everywhere. You showing her to your friends, everybody like, oh, you know. Then all of a sudden something happening. Then you start to describe the girl, you start to talk all the bad thing about her. Oh, so your friend now will say, but we're my man. But another thing girl you're introducing to us the other day. So, you know, I'm surprised that President Weah will begin to call Prince Johnson. In fact, he asked, who are you? I mean, from all accounts, say anything you want to say about Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson is somebody. Prince Johnson has the command of Nimba County. You see, let me tell you, the people of Nimba County, that one thing I give them the credit for, they are united. No, Nimba County, let me tell you, if you go to Nimba County, no boss, they let pleasure. In the night, when they drink, when they can go on the farm, eat, drink, and kind of time, they'll be dancing, but that dancing, when that egg will fight. You see two men fighting. But you from Bon County or you from Pastor, go point one finger at one of them. The whole time we tell on you, those people are united. And I remember during the war time, we were running away. Nobody has something they were saying. When the long line they will come and speak some guilt, a mano. They'll tell you, if you know you're one of us, bend your head down or do something, or push one foot in front, like that. They'll say in a trap. So if you know it one of them, right away you do it, and the rest of the people now they'll start picking them. They are doing most of the time on the line, plugging people. Because they know that if they say bend your head, you bend your head, that means you're not one of them. And they'll ask you what trap. So the people are very, very much united. So for you to look at a Prince Johnson, I mean, forget about the peace we enjoy. Forget about the war is going far away. Okay, nobody wants war in Liberia anymore. But people still believe in their people. Joshua, you play football. All the football lovers still believe in you. Even though you're not, if they put you even in the beginning they're playing free time ball between the hall, you're not perform well. But people still know you to be that Joshua that won the Ballon d'Or, that won Africa's best, that won world best. Okay? So nobody can stand and say who is Joshua when it comes to football. So you can look at Prince Johnson and say, who are you? Who are you? If you want to go, you can go. And then another thing the president did, he threatened. You see, I mean, this president, I'm not too sure if something was wrong with him, or he said that when people say he doesn't forgive, he's like, he's going to react. It's true. And this is not the quality of a leader. You do not be fast to talk, to act, always be the last. You know, Mr. Cummings made one statement one time, I think 2017 election, and people were taking it, running away, when he said, leaders should be the last to eat. He said, oh, yeah, the man said, all the people will eat, but he will be the last to take everything, to eat everything. You see, you are the leader. If you carry your group and you got one small food, you can't be the first to start cutting. No, make sure your group is certified. The same way you the leader, you should be the last to speak, because anything you say is bearing. Now, he threatened Prince Johnson people. He said, if your leader is going, say everybody that came to the coalition, they brought people. So if you are the leader, you going, carry all your people. If you leave them behind, we'll move them and put other people there. Can you imagine? Under the Constitution, every Liberian is entitled to job as long as you are qualified. Okay? So you cannot be threatening other people. So I don't know, maybe Paul got some other question to ask, but one question I will throw across to all of us is this statement, this particular statement and action by President Weah, do you think it augurs down well, even with the people who want to support him, or other people who are who still want to even work with him in coalition? You think they will be brave enough, looking at what has happened, to remain there?
Well, Linfa, let me go on this one.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, Liberia made a big mistake.
Wow.
We are land people, and we took a superstar and gave him a position that is too big for him. That is the bottom line. So when you give people position, they don't know what to do. They find means to speak, and that's the means that we have found to go behind a pulpit to talk, where he feels very comfortable to talk. The job
now
is
talking sense.
Yeah, the job is too big, because even if you look at him, observe that video, watch his body language, it like some spare is on him at that moment in time. So when he talk, he just talk loosely. He does not talk like the father of the nation. If you go to church, where you go to church to say, Lord God, I committed sin last night, forgive me. Let me pray. People go for church for healing, but not the place people go and throw jobs. Not only Prince Johnson he went for in that church, he usually go to the church to throw jobs on the people that want to unseat him. So in that same church, and I'm going to play this in a minute, he also threw jobs at Mr. Cummings about a rally in that same church. That this man we are encouraged bad behavior as a nation, the father of the nation. He make a remark that the little boy that stole the money, they lie on him. So the same way he refused to prosecute Natalia Magay and others, including himself, that stole from the country, so this may encourage bad behavior. So I want to play this. Maybe then you and Orita can chime in. There's something just not right with our president. So I want you guys, let me get this little clip where he went after all comments. Listen to this.
To manipulate, I'm impressed. I blow program until I came on water room, I blow program. So program impressed me. Special people that you doing things every day when you're ready, you want to blackmail you. Anybody that don't want to vote for us.
It's not this one. It's the next one. It's not this one. It's the next
Okay.
one. Flo, let me bring that one up.
Okay, yeah, like I was saying, Orita, I don't know. You know, this is a man who is the incumbent. Let me tell you, let me put it this way. You see, Joe Walker was first president. He no more vice president. He ordinary citizen now. We are only calling former VP. At least he will carry that title. The same will call, we have former world best. Okay? But if anybody is, let me put the same we are as a sample. If anybody is fighting to carry Ballon d'Or now or to become world best, you think affect Weah? No, Weah have been there and done his own. If anybody want to be VP, you didn't affect Joe Walker? No, Joe Walker have been there and done his own. So he that is down or he that is out, he fears no fall. You are the one who is president, and you want to hold on to your presidency. And for you to be so loose, for you to begin to throw jabs, I think you should be the one to take all of the bullets simply because you know what you want. Like it's like you want this girl, and I know why all my examples will all be on girls, but a little bit sensitive. Yeah, you want a fine girl, then you go, you start talking bad things to the girl, but how your hair looking loose? So look at all your toenails and teddy. You think the girl? She will say, even her friend, they say, Baba, they all friend get bamo. So even if you don't get that girl, you lose your chances of getting the other girls. In other words, you're looking for people to come into collaboration with you. And you did not win alone. You won because of the collaboration. Then your collaborating partners, you got problem with them. You start to use bad words on them. Even though one that stay with you, you think they'll be comfortable? The first thing you failed them, the promises you made, you did not fulfill. Yeah? And then you begin to buy more of them. You think the rest of them that with you, they will remain there? I hope my old man Joel Howard Taylor is listening. I hope the MPP people, Cyril Allen, and the thing that surprises me, the MPP that I knew from Taylor Town, it was MPP of people who were smart. That these people will even sell the party to a George Weah. I know the people are Taylor saying now. It happened in jealous of people.
But the thing is, one thing I want to go back. I do understand we are being world best, Africa best, Europe best. That is something, yes, he achieved it.
Right.
But we are forgetting something. You see, in this life, it's like this. God will put you on a pedestal. People will worship you, for maybe something you did. But then later on in life, God will want to see if, the pedestal he put you on,
you really deserve it.
If you deserve it. And for me, we going back and saying, oh, we are his world best, because the thing is, that man in his head, he's living on the past glory, and you have people are just there thinking, okay, let me just say whatever he wants to hear, because I know I will get money. You understand? The thing is that, yeah, you are world best, but it's now he is damaging that. I mean, he has damaged that legacy. Because outside of Liberia border, you go and say, oh yeah, they say, oh, Georgia is president now. Now people are not even like, they're not even seeing like, oh, this is like the man who won Africa Best World Best. I know, that is in the history book, but the way he is portraying himself now, people are witnessing. I mean, they are seeing like the man, before he was just on the feet. I mean, and he exhibiting all these characters, and when people look like, but I mean, it's not adding up. So what he's doing now, he just like minimizing, the pedestal God put him on. And the sad thing, I mean, it makes me so angry because you see, I mean, a man going into God's house and being like so disrespectful. I've never heard this man like, talking about, I mean, like even reading script from the Bible, even if you don't know how to, but he's there, like gossiping about his fellow demon, that is like, for me, that is not a behavior of a world best. Not at all.
That is not a behavior.
Stop putting me on that pedestal. He lost that thing long time ago. God said, my man, just move from there, man. You're not even taking care of my children. You're not even doing what I bless you to do. So, I mean, what best that thing is just, the sedition can be singing for him. What best, what, but
So, on that note, he lost it all, and I hope Liberian voting out. So, listen to this one here. You're throwing jobs again in the same church.
And they thought that, and how somebody can believe that, of George Weah, what the people love, and the say will love you. Going outside, nobody will go outside. Because we're not protesting, we're not saying. Because you can't meet what you thought you can do, you laugh on small bosses and they steal money for you. religious people in the country, you can see that they are really praying. They're doing very well. They're doing very well. They're doing very well. They're doing very well. They are continuing to pray. All of the people there, they are all passing by. People, they don't have reverence, they don't have the quality, they don't have leadership. Talk up. But these are people, they're not successful. And I want it angry. You understand? It's not the most. Today, if I'm not here, trust me, you'll see me the same way. Everything that you do to me, you will still have it. The way that I'm with them, before we came here, look at our lives.
Right.
You know,
This man
you
was
know,
throwing jabs at Mr. Cummings. So he said these people are not successful. And I want you, and he encouraging the stealing that, oh, they lie on the small boy that stole money. Jamal, I know this is your area, and I just want to hear this man telling Mr. Cummings he's not qualified.
You know, listen. The mistake we made as Liberian, we did not thoroughly check George Weah. In fact, we knew you, but we didn't want to gain the benefit of the doubt. Like my sister said, God gave you the pedestal to stay if you can deliver. I think I was a failure. I mean, he succeeded winning the other football titles, but that's been different from being a leader. Tell me any record of George Weah that he was once a captain of any one of his team that he played in Europe. You have no record. Anytime, if you become a captain of a football team in Europe, then you got a leadership quality. That's what I just want to let you know now. Most people don't know about this. You can be the best player, but they don't give you the leader the team leadership. You didn't get it at all. Probably did it when you were running Lone Star, when you are like helping Lone Star to get to the African Cup of Nations. That could have been. That's one thing. So, Paul, to address the issue of they don't have the leadership, they are all. It's just a joke. I mean, the president is a joke in a sense that he's saying something, and that people say, "Yeah, God is punishing." You hear people at the back, "Oh, God is punishing." Then you are the leadership. You're going to leave. So, where is he leaving with us? Legacy of what? Corruption, throwing into problems, abject poverty. You see how the country is going, and our people are sitting there rejoicing, clapping their hands. This is why I'm saying they're using the word of God, the church to sing, so nobody can question him. That's the secret they do. So George Weah, when he became senator for 2.5 years probably, he was caught and pasting reports. He did not pass any bill in that parliament. Those are record points need to follow, but because those guys prey on the vulnerability of our people, because the people want to get something out of them, they will not do the invest. They will not care to listen. But you think one thing we should know, you and myself that sit out here, we are concerned about Liberia and our people because we know how they're suffering. We know how these people make these countries we are in better. They work hard. Generation in the past, they made that country better. But we're fighting to do that for that country. People think that we are against George Weah. Personally, it's not. It's not. He succeeded on the football field. Fine. With trophies, fine. But leadership, zero. Check his great record. He didn't do anything. So when you say that you want to blow stuff about leadership, I don't know. People will say, "Oh, rubbish." Or people will say to people who know him very well will say that George Weah doesn't know what he's talking about. So I know very well that most of our people don't follow whatever information they bring to them. They will take, and those information they will take it against it. Yeah, George Weah, they don't like George Weah, but you still win. He has the people that cut your heart. Cut your heart. Look at what we're going through right now. You know, so talking about Mr. Cummings, you can't even compare him to Mr. Cummings. We know that. I will challenge him if he can compare him, let him face to face, have him just one-to-one with him on just an interview together, just Q&A question and answer. You will flock him to the letter. You know that. Prince Johnson himself can whip him. Prince Johnson took him to the synagogue in Nigeria. They exposed him. with all his popularity he has. You saw that. What the late Bishop T.B. Joshua, right? The late T.B. Joshua. You took him there. If he was the popular, the most successful one, he would have gone himself. You took him carrying to the Senegal in Nigeria. So this guy has been exposed. He gave him that international exposure, making to know people. He only knew people on the floor around him. When you were becoming president, who went to who attended his inaugural section? 4 players. The president of Guinea went there. He said he spent less than an hour. He probably did not see the inauguration. Less than an hour. He sat down. The next 30 minutes, he was off the way. He was at the airport going back. I think the only president I saw so far at the inauguration. So I'm just saying something that he was on post in his church. Probably people don't know him. We've been tracking, we catalog his activities. His leadership has been zero from the day he began. For the past 6 years, it's been zero. 5.5 years, it's been zero. So it continues to be zero. So why is he boasting of? And I know he will tell me much about how you make his Coca-Cola at the Jamaica resort. I want to know the recipe. So I will join my sister Orita, who was selling in Sweden, because it's not allowed.
I think Norway would need to order that man Coca-Cola. I mean, have you tasted the Coca-Cola? So
in Norway,
guys, before leave up, one said before you come in, Coca-Cola. Let there be coquille fond in Liberia. Coca-Cola. Weah have made the best Coca-Cola ever. And we had a lot of cocaine being captured in Liberia. So I just the cola. Lifa, I know maybe you want some of the Coca-Cola. Talk to us.
You see, in a serious country, which Liberia is not, this man shouldn't be president long time ago. From 3 months into his presidency, when he started stealing in broad daylight, all of his ministers started stealing, there should have been impeachment proceedings for him long time ago by lawmakers. But because the lawmakers themselves are corrupt to the bones, they cannot do that. And I tell you, all of this fight against Mr. Cummings, I don't. Liberia is the first country that I have seen on planet Earth where somebody comes and say, my hands are clean, I want us to do things the better way. Then he become enemy for the entire country. Then people hate him for saying that he hates. I mean, I don't understand. So even if Jesus Christ was to come to Liberia, they in fact, it took a long time. He lived 33 years on the other side before they killed him. If he was to come to Liberia, the same day, Liberians will kill him. That very day. Because this is a country where people hate clean things. Simply because Mr. Cummings said, I want us to do things differently, he became enemy to the entire country. And this is clear manifestation of what Liberia is. Corrupt, rotten to the bone. We do not let anything good. I mean, that we will still be sitting here and talking about corruption when they killed 13 living human beings, people who are not sick. They grabbed them, tied them broad daylight. They didn't kill them in secret to see we see them. They put on a pole. They killed them. I was a little boy. That trauma, it still follows me. Okay, we were playing football right in front of the commerce. I mean, the chamber of commerce between Minister of Information and Commerce. There, right, there was a little opening there. When we heard that they were tying the people, we ran on the parade field. I was there when we did it. I went around 7 times. 7 times because people were in line going around the people 7 times. From that time, that thing still follows me.
Yeah. And
that we will still be talking about anything called corruption in Liberia. That if anybody comes and say, let us do things differently, then become enemy of the entire country. Okay, here is George Weah telling Mr. Cummings that he lied on a little boy for stealing 70,000. Can you imagine how small-minded this guy is? I mean, I used to respect George Weah from all accounts, but now, even if you bring George Weah, and one crazy man walking in the street, I'll respect that crazy man because that condition made a man crazy. But George Weah is sound, but he cannot think that Cummings will go and lie on somebody, on a little boy, for 70,000. When Cummings has spent more than almost $500 million saying he to Liberia from all election and all the project he be doing. Yeah. Okay, then George Weah in a same video we challenge coming and say, the man making Coco, you are mixing Coca-Cola with our UNICEF ambassador. You know, anybody can become UNICEF ambassador. You know that anybody that UNICEF want to appoint you, that's appointed position. You do not marry it. Yeah. Then you also say, because he's sitting down on Coca-Cola bowl, so he think that something big. You know what I mean? So even work for Coca-Cola, Anton was sitting down on Coca-Cola bowl, but because this guy, the mind is so small, you know, let me tell you, if you operate ants, the A-N-T, or I-S to A-N-T-S, the ants that walk on the ground, they get more sense than George Weah. Because the ants in the summer, well, listen to Paul today, I said, I'm going to go hard. I said it. So nobody should stop me here. This is election time. Okay? Yeah, this is election time. We gotta expose these people. George Weah, the ants got more sense more than him. If you operate the two of them bring and put it together, you'll find out that ants think better than him. In the winter, the ants are inside now. They're eating the food that they collected since summer. Okay? You know, they got the kindergarten something that they play where the grasshopper was standing playing in the summer, you're playing music, dancing, while the ants were packing food, you know, dancing. The ants say, go find food. He said, no, I enjoy it. When the winter came out, he didn't get food. He went out to the ants and do the open door, the say kind inside and eat. Next summer now, he went with the ants to go fetch food. So they got sense more than our president. That this man will look at somebody who is internationally acclaimed and try to condemn him simply because there is something in life we call moral equivalence. Okay, moral equivalence. That's what Joshua want to do. Say he knows he's nothing. He wants somebody who can be nothing like him. So he will even climb the ladder to go pull or comments down from up there. Okay, by saying that the man, because he served on Coca-Cola bowl, you know what he's talking? Serving on Coca-Cola bowl, you know what it means? Compared to you being, and what the thing he said, you know, say ambassador, and the president said that you occupy today. It's just an office. It's not you. The presidency does not make you George Weah. The presidency is the office. You are just a George Weah. You are nothing. You are just a George Weah. If they move you from that presidency today, you will remain George Weah and nothing more. Guys, you can flow.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Amen. Thank you for being so hard on my good friend.
Paul.
And the thing you're looking
I'm sorry if I'm hard, but this is my opinion, guys. It's not an opinion. It's not an opinion of bottom line. It's my opinion.
No. Guys, you see, this is why I made the play so nice. We are free thinkers. We say what we think is right, and that's why we can take from our own personal perspective. So, I think what is happening, four of us here, we got to be looking at your passport, because if you find to like anything soon, security will ask you questions.
And that's what I wanted to talk about.
So I will be prepared to answer. We got a KAKI, George Weah Sane. We are free to talk.
And
we cannot attack anybody.
I'm just saying something out of Joe. He can't be temple. He can't try it. But the fact of the matter is, a good thing that we need to talk here. This is where we're not being abusive. We're not being arrogant here. We're being very honest, very, very honest with what we are saying. Because I keep saying that the country, we're speaking from our very hearts. We are hurt because we don't want to see Liberia going down the line. We don't want to see Liberians suffering. We don't want to see our people die. We've traveled a lot to many countries. Most of us sitting here on this platform right now, we've been in many countries, Africa as well, and we know how the countries are developing. They are not performing magic. They are doing well. They're hard workers. These countries who flew into here, we are sitting to the generation for generation, they work hard to lay the foundation for the coming generation. So if we are speaking of these things, we're not like it will come from the blue sky. You have to lay the structure. You have to lay the foundation in order to succeed. And this is what we are speaking of. We got the right people. Liberia has the right people. All Liberia out here, Liberians are right. Even back home, we got the right people, the right skill, the resources there to develop. If we don't have, we got our neighbors can help until we can develop ourselves. You know, this is what they say. They got a way international. I think it's an international development something. What they say, where you get direct investment into your country. Once you carry money, they train your people to become skillful. Then you place your staff with their staff. And this is what we should be doing if we don't have the resources. But they know that all. George Weah lay half of his life abroad, so you know what they say. But they refuse to do better for that country. And this one, when the wealth is in the hand of a few, That's what happened. We turn out to become beggars. And people in those various churches are beggars. People going to those stadiums to rally to give you support. More especially to the nonsense he just did this God Saturday. Buy attendees to go and attend his program. And I will be there. Being a strong supporter of ANC, I really go to that rally because I want money. If I've not been having a job for, I've been having a job for 6 months. I've started. My wife is not eating. My son is not going to school. I'll go to the distribution money.
I can get $20 just like this.
$20. I will go and put that T-shirt and get it, my little BA in my hand. I'll be dancing.
I'll tell everybody, my family, my whole family will go.
Guys,
Yeah.
Liberia made a mistake. A
Long
big
time.
mistake. And that mistake, and we are now feeling that he made a mistake too by accepting that job. So he knows that he crying wolf today, that he's going to be booted out. He knows that, so that's why he gone to the church trying to buy sympathy. It does not work like that. He's going to be booted out come the 10th of October 2023. He will be booted out. It just behooves me that we have somebody like him to be president, to be honest. Liberia, I think our mothers, they so bitter ball and sent us to school to learn, to be someone tomorrow. What sort of mistake we made because somebody played football? He was the only superstar we had in the country. They decided to give him a position like that. The decision from the president helped everybody or make everybody to go backward. And look what happened. You talk about people collecting money for a rally. If you in Liberia today, take $5 and go shopping. That's 2 days meal for you. So you're getting free $20. You know the whole week meal. So people had a right to go and collect their money that was stolen. And this is what happened. Because people are in that very church that he preaching in. Those people went to that church to hustle. After the church, they'll be asking those ministers and think, Papa, nothing for tomorrow. They're all going to beg for money. You think working on some person will go listen to somebody who not preaching to get through jobs?
One thing,
beg for money.
That church. If you look at the composition of that church, people in that church are selected. They are selected people in that church.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
What they do, you select
the ministers and their families
and their families. So their first family go to that church. So they are selected and they're not beggars. So they Papa go stand they do. Those people are paying huge. They have our salary going to that church.
Oh, Jamal, I tell you, not only selected people because I've been to that church. People go there to meet people. They queue outside to meet people. They waiting outside to meet them to beg for money.
The church, they're waiting outside.
Some of them enter the church.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you.
I have a question. And the thing is that this is the thing that make me like, as a Liberian woman, I go to bed every day. I'm like, oh Lord, the devil is based in my country. Meaning that, these people, what you guys just stated, some of them, they are like minister, and I'm assuming a lot of them are educated, they know right from wrong. But are you telling me they should have tell Joshua, he said, Josh, you know what? Let's go to Jamaica Resort, or just based on gonna lay Palava Hut every Sunday. If you want us to come there, we will come, and you can keep, throwing your jabs. But to go in the house of God, for me, that is something that's like.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Like the work of the devil.
Orito, you're talking something about educated people. Let me tell you one thing.
Oh,
they are educated, but there are two things that you got to look at. Number one, the people, they cannot be like George Weah to be president to steal. So they got to go under his canopy. You see, when it's raining, you're in a forest. You don't look for the open space to stand for the rain for you to get wet. You go under where the big tree, where you can be protected. And you can get a benefit of the leaves of that tree. But you are not part of that. Even though you are better than that tree may be itchy or get torn, but as long as it's keeping you safe from the rain, you can go under it. So they go there, they walk in a shadow to get what they want. Let me tell you, after George Weah, some of the revelations that you'll be hearing from those foreign ministers you're talking about, it'll be shocking to you. What is Eugene Fango saying today? Eh? What is, I mean, a lot of people who are leaving Georgia, what they're telling you. So it should tell you what they will say in the future. But guys, I don't know if you still want to talk about this guy.
Well,
I think we
let's
can
transition. Let's
Yeah.
transition.
let's transition to the Million Man March. Now, the Million Man March, they said we're going to put on 1 million crowd, 1 million people crowd. But let me first of all look at the setting, or let's look at a little bit history of CDC. CDC used to fill Monrovia at the time. You know, Paul said Liberia made mistake. Yes, we made mistake, but it was an honest mistake, a mistake that we just have to make. Because if people had not elected Joshua as of today, anything happened that Joshua did not become president, do you know that Liberians will always believe that he was the best man, the best thing that would have happened to Liberia? So God put it this way. This is a man who used to just stay and talk. The whole city will be locked down. People will print their own t-shirt. People will go buy t-shirt and bring it to print. Now they are printing t-shirt for people. They are paying people to boss them to go to rally. They know it's to go to ATS. They used to go where? SKD. But this time they're praying to even go to ATS. And they could not even fail the ATS. Right now, if you get a good keyboard team, or very good keyboard team, and they play on that ATS, it will be 400 people will be standing outside. But the ruling party went there with program and it will not fail. Can you imagine? So now it's rough. They say when water dry, fish eat fish. So it's rough now. The fish then eating fish. They didn't get crowd. So what happened? The security that we let people pay to guard the president who worked for us. The security are all wearing t-shirt, carrying gun, and that gun there, they shot that inside, that our money. The gun itself, that our money body. The men that holding that gun to protect the president, that we don't want to pay him. But he rather forget about the Liberian people and pay loyalty to the president, chanting. The fact that you are wearing the party t-shirt and cap and holding that gun that we gave you suggests that you do not look after us, the citizen. You are only paying attention to the president. Now, I remember you guys will come in 1997 when the election was coming, or ECOMO or the UN or whoever the ECO was, they made law that the last week to the election, no party, no radio station should carry any campaign message about any of the parties, let alone to even wear any of the party t-shirt. And we abided by, we the press people, we abided by, every citizen in Liberia abided by it. So I'm surprised that the campaign had not even started, that the people that we pay with our money will attend, and then they're wearing the party, one party t-shirt. So if Mr. Cummings is going to have rally, will they send the EPS people there with ANC t-shirt too, holding the gun to guard Mr. Cummings? Is that what they're trying to say? You guys can flow.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is something we shouldn't be talking, because who is there to enforce those laws?
It's the government.
Who is there to tell you that this should be done? So this is something is part of our custom already in Liberia. The government of the day decides what we want. That's what I said at the start of the program. Every code of conduct, every code of integrity, every code of law has been breached, and the government has done it. You saw with let's say look at the paramilitaries and look at the military. They shouldn't be going around at the start before you get enlisted or enrolled or whatever you call it in these very military stuff. You should be told your duty to the country, not to an individual. But they're not told. Somebody brought you in because he's related to the president, or somebody brought you. Someone can be EPS, special, what they call an EPS. There's a great Martian special force, protection force, whatever they call the service. So they have been told, they've been brought in without proper training, without being lectured or being told what their duties are, responsibilities are to the country and to the president. You see, during the time of the election in America, whatever Donald Trump was doing wrong, the security don't care. They'll follow the law, what they've been told. They don't pay allegiance to an individual. It's to the nation. So if you're not being told from the start, you don't know what you're doing. You probably don't know what you're doing. That's thing we should know. They don't know what they are doing, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. They don't know what they are doing. So this is why we say we need civic education in our country from elementary level up to university level. We need to know our duties and responsibilities as citizens of that country. It's a serious mistake we're having. Instead of paying allegiance to an individual, we pay allegiance to the country. That's what it is. Look at the past governments. That's how it's been doing. Everybody's paying allegiance to the president because he wants his daily bread to flow. Who cares? Now we're gonna go. Election Commission has no power to say, okay, they shouldn't be doing it. You see the campaign signages around the country. You saw their slogans all over the place. And these things should be stopped, but nobody's talking about it. So we know that's our system. That's why you and myself have the right to sit here and tell the people this is wrong. You can't do that in Liberia. They'll come out, the talks will come after you. So it's our responsibility to tell them the truth. And the journalists may have the right to say it, but they won't be allowed to do it. Or the police will knock them out early in the morning. Secret police will knock out the door in the morning and disappear. You won't see them again. You'll end up like the auditors. That's what's happening in our country. So we need to keep saying this to the people so it can get in the head of the right people. Nobody will enforce this, my people. We need to tell them. They don't know what they are doing. The guys in authority know, but they'll use them because they prey on their innocence or their ignorance.
But Chima, if you say they don't know, but the guys in authority know. Now, there was a press conference that came up right after the whole nation or even the international community expressed concern about security personnel wearing party regalia, chanting party slogan to the president. The government was under obligation. They were forced to come out with a statement and even admit, and by admission, they indicted themselves. Okay? Now, they said the justice minister apologized that these people, they didn't know what they were doing. They have actually breached the security protocol. They didn't know what they were doing. But what are you going to do to them? What is the punitive measure because if anybody, any ordinary citizen had done anything wrong, that's why that security group is there. If anybody wanted to misbehave at a party or at a rally, the security was there to grab them and prosecute them or jail them or beat them. Okay? Without that person, without the person come here and say, oh, my son didn't know what you're doing. But now the justice ministry will come or minister will come and say, well, this guy did not know what they were doing. So what is the punitive measure? What if I went there and I misbehaved? My father will come from the grave and come tell and say, oh, my son, he know what you're doing, and will accept it? No.
Yeah.
But
Paul, you want to say
Man, we should not waste our time on this.
No, we're not wasting time. We're teaching. Look, people are listening to this important. People
listen to this because this is it has happened. It's Africa, the way the leadership structure, until you get somebody in place that will say, no, this is wrong. They do it all the time.
Yeah, but that's why we are saying it now, so that the voters will know that they cannot vote these people back.
But this is Paul, man. I said, Liberia made a mistake. These guys, they made a mistake. I mean, to be honest, this happened during this 2017 election. When Joseph Boyka was the incumbent, the same thing happened. Because this is always partisan police and security in Liberia. You remember Chris Massacre this? It always been like that. So until we get better people to come in and change the whole system, and that's why we're pushing for Mr. Cummings to get over there and clean out this mess. We cannot be doing the same thing over and over. You see
what Paul is saying here is when you go to police academy or you want to join the military, there should be a system where to be trained what to follow the procedure. Like you said, the duties and responsibility of an officer or paramilitary, whatever it is, they will know. It may be written black, black and white, but it will be put aside and say, you know what, that's not about it. We do it different in this place because they are not being punished or they are not being penalized for doing wrong.
Yeah, that's the
just saying. If they've been penalized, like those, like you said, like people who have been in corruption. Like let's look at what happened. This $16 billion Liberian dollars. Up to now, nobody has been investigated or been arrested for that. And other things have been happening. Murders and suspects been all over the place in jail. After some time, they go free. If we see these people being penalized, the law is taking its course. These things will be stopped, but nobody's doing it because it's at the advantage of the people in power.
That's right.
It's at their advantage. So it's to their advantage. So therefore, they won't penalize anybody. And if we were having an institutions like they will check these people, I know if you set up a commission or an association or an agency that they got their own budget separate from the government, I mean, autonomous agency without the government control, they will do the right thing. Look at the ELBC, for instance. That's the government, the national radio station. They are not getting any support. So they will turn the government of the day will turn to King FM, Cloud TV, which is Georgia own television station, and the radio station, and give press conferences or whatever they take the adverts. And the ELBC and other national radio stations run by the government, sponsored by the government, has been left over. So what are they saying? Even this is why the politicians are not using the national radio station where we have our taxpayer money go to. They should be funded, properly funded, and they should be run independently. So they can able to deliver, they should be able to deliver the news people want to hear. So those are you will see from you work in the media for over 30 years at the government level. You know what I'm talking about. You've been told what to say. You're not saying what is right. I mean, you may be saying it right now here. We know what's happening. We're in around the corridors of power. You're told what to say. You're not told the right thing is left aside. So the system in Liberia is all over in Africa. You can see everywhere. So we pay allegiance to individual or those in power, not to the country. This is the system. We need to change.
And the thing is that, I'm going to go back to the EFPS officer, however you call it. My thing is that I know that, and I'm hoping that Liberia, go through the same procedure. Isn't it that, with such tasks, these people, before they even are allowed to carry a firearm, they go through all the rules, regulations, the do's and don'ts, or they don't do it. They just tell these people, okay, you are going to, you belong here. You're going to guard the president. Here's your gun. I'm asking this question because the thing is that I do understand, they are Liberians and they are citizens, but how can, men with such position not think of the rules, the oath they took when it comes to, okay, these are these are like, what I'm trying to say is that they have like certain rules, where it's like, okay, when you are guiding the president, you are not allowed, when it comes to the party affiliation, you are not allowed to, to participate in such, and you are not allowed to, leave your position. Don't they go through all those things?
Orita, I know my colleagues will come in. Let me tell you one thing. What is that? On the international level, every rules and regulations is written black and white in terms of joining the security. Liberia has everything, but they don't apply it. They don't. They don't. Because they don't define the matter here. The person in charge will tell you, I'm in charge, I'll tell you what to do. You want to live or you don't want to live? You want to survive, you want your job or you don't want your job. They'll be threatened, and for that matter, they won't survive. So what they do, they turn it back to the right thing they should be doing and look up to the boss. That's what happened. That means there's nothing written. If you go to the various institution, they will tell you this is the system. You will find every international procedure set up. The Liberian government follow it. By paper though. Practically they don't. If I'm in power, I'll tell you, if you're my security officer, you overstay there, you need to go home to be recovered by somebody else. You should be there for 12 hours. You'll be with me for 24 hours. When you should be sleeping tired, you should be not more than 16 hours at work. Because it's a security officer, so much you're covering up. It doesn't work. He's abusing his labor right. He abusing his human right. And he will stay on that job because he wants to survive. That's how the system it looks in Liberia.
Yeah. So, Jamal, you said it right. And Orito, what you guys are displaying with is the rebel way of doing things, during the war days. You see, I wanted to join the SSS when I was small because if you see those people during the trouble time, when they appear, you say, wow. From the appearance alone, in that gathering, a plain clothes officer will be there. You wouldn't know. That is their job to protect the president, but they wouldn't show arms like that. It's only wartime people do those kind of things. But secret services will be around. You wouldn't know they're there. It will not display like these rebels guys are doing over there. So when you have good leaders, good people that take over from the incompetency people, you wouldn't see those sort of this what they display on the page the other day. This is where the guy may be in jeans, trouser, t-shirt, you're plain close cap. You wouldn't know he's there to do his job. But the fact is that displaying on like you're going to boot to fight, it's just complete nonsense. And that's why if I see that the whole group they just need to go. That's
Linford been around. He been around the government corridor for a long time. Linford, tell us your
you know,
experience. Maybe because you were there when the security officers were the banishing arms like that. I think when I grew up, I think when I was a little child, I saw tall, but I saw the security officer with when they like pistol on the side.
pistol, yeah.
You know, where they automatic rifle brandishing across their chest. And he said, Linford, take us through. What was it like in your days?
You know, my experience, I grew up on a bypass, so we were very close to authorities, the mansion and whatever. My uncle, my late uncle, who is uncle also to Councillor Tawan Conclo, lived in the police barracks, and I lived with him. And he was SS mayor at the executive mansion. So I started going to that executive mansion at very, very early age. I think around 74, 75, around there. Okay. So I knew a lot of SS officers. And like Paul said, the way the people are dressed. I mean, hey man, before my uncle goes to work, my uncle would take somebody, one boy should live with him. That boy would take more than 30 minutes to press the mail clothes. I mean, you press the hanky, you kind of look at it, small thing, you say no. Eh? That when you see the people the way they so dressed, and in the SS they have a different kind of people. My uncle was a doctor. He was a nurse, rather, in the SS. Okay, though he used to carry a lead pistol. Then they got the people who are very close to the president. And then among the people who are very close to the president, they are in the president detail. They got the plain close people. Okay, those one are inside, and you watch it. You will see the plain close people along with the president and the SS men dressed in a uniform along with the president. That's how it used to be like. Okay, because when they go anywhere, if the president is going anywhere, they got the advance team, and then the president comes with all his security people. There are people who will go with him inside. Then the other SS people will scatter around the yard. That's how it should be. You don't see the guy carrying assault rifles, the people carrying AK-47. No. It was not like that. That thinking about during the wartime, okay? And because they were fighting war, and right after the war, it transitioned. Remember that Taylor then came to presidency as a result of war. And so when it came to the presidency, they transferred those kind of things. This is how you start seeing these guys carrying long-range weapons. But those of us that are across the land and working, in the hard land, it was normal for us that the guys would come with, they will even come with RPG behind the president. Okay? So these things have changed over the night or over the years. And then that it will be happening in a peacetime government, like Georgia government, well, I don't know. Probably this has become a protocol, the security protocol. So I don't know. But what I saw during trouble time,
that transition, because they have to go.
Yeah.
They have to go.
And so say, yeah.
Yes.
So Rita, before you come, but let me just ask a question. And so since the SSO, no, they're not SSO anymore. They are EPS, Executive Protection Services or whatever. Yeah. Since they all are partisan now and chanting party slogan, does that mean that campaign has officially opened? Paul, do you have any message for us?
Yeah, I got message from you guys. So, and this message came from one of the most loyal, profound legislature in Liberia, the tough talking legislature that nobody, even Weah, they call him the Nedman or George Weah. I want you guys to listen to this guy. He was just on the rampage today. He declared campaign today officially open, so we can now start campaigning for our candidate. Listen to this guy here called Honorable Yeke Koluba.
At the last CDC to pass it from there. When the opposition moving will pass there. Until precedents can be set, then there will be
So Charles Brown is the head of the workers, the Senate staff, the head of the Senate staff, alongside Honorable Yekewa Koduba.
So we are here, and officially campaign have been open. We're calling on our people all around Liberia to carry on the campaign. Vote, go and encourage people to vote for the opposition. Yes. And like I said, and let me say it again, very soon we'll have one ticket. No and that is what the ruling party do not want. They are afraid. You see, Pastor, we are going before the pulpit. Where he's already talking about how God will bless people. But you go before the pulpit, I know you took spark, or you go high, you dare gossip about people. The house of God is not to gossip. Bishop Winkelson has become an embarrassment for him to allow Pastor Weah to go in a church to be carrying on gossip. I'm surprised of Bishop Winkelson. I mean, I want to investigate a bishop, how he got that bishop tattoo. I need to investigate it. Maybe he call it another way.
The Liberian people are concerned because the law is here. The judiciary is here to interpret whoever goes wrong. Why don't you take your case to the court?
My man, let election commission take me to court. Yeah? You know what the late Joe used to tell me? While in the police, he said, Yankee, don't bring somebody complaint. Let somebody bring your complaint. That let's say make a large complaint.
So
that go pay right there, go pay. Yeah.
No, before you start, I just want to make this clear, and I will keep saying this. It doesn't matter how people understand it. For me, give me 10 yeke in the house, 10 of yeke everywhere in like vital sector in the Liberian, government.
Yeka is my man. I like Yeka every time I think about it, boy. But somebody on the show doesn't like the person who near encore.
So let me play the last clip. Let me play the last clip so you can flow with this.
Come clean. Who is on the show that doesn't like it?
Can I play the last clip so you can come clean?
Yeah.
So Fox says it's TV. Whenever Yeka called about presenter on the grounds of the Capitol building today, a billboard of himself and Joshua Yumabwakad, and also another billboard on the other side, which of course I will show soon, of him, Mr. Cummings. So calling to him said because on the grounds of the Capitol building they have photo here, and so today he decided to bring the opposition on a billboard.
Signal for danger in our country. Do you think your take as a representative, you think you will be re-elected due to some of the usual behavior you exhibit at the level of the legislature?
I don't want to be re-elected. You should be asking Bobo Chimo to be re-elected. Bobo Chimo will not be re-elected because you have become a mistake to this country, a complete embarrassment to the country. Like Chester Grant had a document. He was expelled from LU and expelled from Cottington. We still got him here. Bringing the horse to public reliquary. You know me to falsify people is criminal under the law. How Chester going to be arrested and will be calling on the horse to arrest him. He need to be prosecuted.
You are seen always abusing the presidency. Your stand in our country has brought shame.
Tell me one insult what I have given the president.
You can recall when you introduced football, there was insult being rained on the
football. Our president, when he went to America, we open there for in a TV to one football game. So when I get football, they are insulting. So okay, I agree. Insulting. So Obama, I mean, Joe Biden insulted him, right? You see, you have become you want to talk to the American government for insulting your president? Your president has become a mistake, a football player. So you went way to America to say, can't watch football game. Because your sins in your foot. Okay now? So we want to come to the close of the press conference. We are coming to the close of the press conference. We want our people to meet house to house, from city to city, from door to door, from door to door, from house to house, from human being to human being, to encourage them to vote for the opposition. Opposition, oh Then they will know what made Babu do.
So this is son of Weah get called over. So let me just show you the other side of the banner. According to him, he said that because of President Weah banner is here at the Capitol, so he went and brought his own banner too, which of course indicated because this is Honorable President George Weah banner. Alongside on that banner is Buffer Chimon and Abochie, both are speaker, and this is the other banner of him and Honor Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. So he had two banners. One is he and Boaka is on one, and also the other he and Cummings is on. So he have two banners, which of course showing that if they cannot take President Weah banner from on the grounds of the Capitol, his banner will remain, his banner will stay, and also everything, so.
It's politically charged. We are politicians. I was elected, I was not appointed. So the place is politically charged. It will charge your place every time we come here. We jump at the fire every time we come here. So don't be afraid.
No, what I just telling you. No, just.
That is Yeke Koruba, the most talk about Yeke, the one that challenge Weah every day, and he's right. Weah then have started putting campaign banner all over the place, and they say it's not campaign. They put in the billboard all over the place. It's not campaign. So Yeke decided now, say, okay, it's campaign time. Campaign is officially open. So they started, and he asked everybody to start campaigning now because the government have started already. So I know Orito, you love Yeke so much. What do you make of his press conference today and the billboard that he displayed?
Well, for me, it was excellent. And I just want to inform the Liberian people that when when they look at Yeke, they say, oh, he insulting, he did. But Yeke is like the poster child of a citizen who knows his right. He knows the Constitution, and he played within, the frame of the Constitution, his rights and everything. Because even the four of us sitting on this panel, we know our various rights in, the countries we are living in. Like for me in Sweden, sitting in my house, a police officer cannot just bang on my door and tell me, oh, I want to see an ID card. It's a no. It's a no. He can still there tell me, oh, I'm the law. No. So if you know your rights, if you know, things like this. So every time Yeke, he exercised his right as a citizen. Forget the fact that he's a lawmaker, you understand? But he's a citizen, but he's a citizen. And if Liberian, instead of them just seeing this, that, oh, he's being rude, he's insulting the president, like Prophet Keith said, words are meant to be used. I'd rather, me and somebody will go back and forth, toe to toe with words, than the person harming me, physically. So for me, everything Yeke is doing, I am for it. We need Yeke in Liberia. 10, 15, 20, 50 Yeke. And I will keep saying it because the thing is that, because Yeke knows that, when CDC started, it's wrong. So you're like, okay, let me show you what you're doing. And that is the thing CDC don't like. How will you start campaigning when the election, commission hasn't even announced that, okay, now, parties can start, campaigning. So for me, Yeke never do wrong in my eyes.
Linfo?
I will compare Yeke to somebody who Jima doesn't like.
I hope that's a good person because you compare Mayeke with somebody.
You know, every time I'm on YouTube or TikTok, I look for Julius Malema from South Africa.
Yes.
Yes, you know, because I like. I'm thinking probably I should start learning to be like Julius Malema.
Yeah, so listen, guys, I'll tell you my point. Well, I got some.
No. I didn't ask you. Wait, let me finish. No, I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you to tell me why you don't like him. I understand. You told me already.
And I'll also tell you why I don't like about Yeke.
Yeah, but okay, you can't. But don't make me forget my thought. You see, so I like. You see, because I remember my late father. You see me small. I know that my mom. My late father was a big guy, huge guy. When he talking here, you about maybe 250 meters away that you were hearing well. So he always told me, he said, you see, in the whole time here, all my friends are scared of me. I big, my voice big, all my head big, they scared of me. Okay, they think I'm the strongest guy. But you are sorry for you because you're small. But I know you get my heart. And I get my father's heart. My heart big. If you take my heart from me, you put me on the scale, maybe I'll weigh 0 pounds. So, but since I don't have that body, that's my impediment. And my father told me, say, your friend man should not tell you, say, don't say here. Your friend man can draw a line and say, do not cross here, because when you cross, maybe saying small, you will be you. So run away. But when you say, don't say here, say it. He will not swallow you. You will not, your hair can feel nobody more. So I'm the type like Yeke. So when Yeke is talking, I see myself through him. And you know, in as much as there is a way people feel that you should say the thing, nobody can decide what I say or what who says. Okay? And it's so good that our president signed this act, the KAK, Kamara Act, giving us the freedom to say what we can say. The only thing you don't have the freedom to do is to go and assault or attack anybody, but talk. Nobody should tell you, do not say yeah. So if you don't say what you mean, who will say it for you? So Yeke, as a lawmaker, represents thousands, tens of thousands of people. And those people speak through the mouth of Yeke. If, like Oricha said, if we have 10, we got all together, we get 73 lawmakers. Among them, if we have 3, let's just say 3 from the 73, we have 3 who are like Yeke. To make changes to come in our house. Okay? And the government knows that some of the things that Yeke can say is true. Why is it that they put a billboard at the Capitol building with Aboche and Bochima, the president and the vice president? So what are they trying to portray at this time when nobody should be doing campaign thing? So Yeke put it on there. And the government know that they can't take Yeke down, because if they take Yeke down, then they got to take the president down too. You see? But because our people, the lawmakers in the house, they all sit there and become dormant. They don't want to say anything. So Yeke is on the other side, telling them that I know who I am. And like Orita said, you know, where we live, let me. Okay, I know my rules in this country. So yeah, when I see I'm driving the police, when I'm driving, when I see the police, I even become more comfortable because I'm just waiting for them to stop me. Okay, and I will tell them. You see, so if you know your right, you will not be afraid to speak. That's what Yeke is doing. So, Jima, I know probably you like the message that Yeke carries, but you don't like the way he goes the message. It's like, I give you my envelope, I say, care to Paul. You saw to probably hand deliver this envelope to Paul, but because he reached a point and you just throw the envelope at him, then it makes it look bad. But it's the same message in that envelope. So go ahead, Jima. Tell us why you don't like the message from Yeke, or you don't like my boy, Malema.
No, I didn't say I didn't like the message. What I'm trying to
No, the way he...
No. His approach to issues being very sometimes abusive. You can deliver a message. You can be radical. You can hit the points. But, at some point he was, I think at the start of a year ago, he was very, very abusive, where he would be like very vocal in his statement, which I take exception to. That's all. But what I'm trying to say... No, but this is what Liberian politics like. People like you have to bombastic before they appreciate you. Like they don't like the type of music cool and calm. They are going to be shouting, yelling, and something. Then he got more attention. This is a kind of unusual thing in Liberian politics. So we're all saying that. But we're trying to introduce a way that you got to be realistic. He's realistic, he is coming. But whereas he goes around being insulting, making, they were making the abusing. He used to do it at some point. He sat arguing at one point, watched the video. He sat on the car. He was insulting the president, mom, and stuff like that, which I really, really don't like. That's the only part about him. But else, every other thing about him is fine. I mean, like, also another thing I noticed from the interview, most of the journalists that go to see him, they are not prepared. They ask questions.
No. Sometimes that are interview.
They're not prepared.
They're waiting for Yeke to get out.
No, they're not prepared. You want to get Yeke, you got to get Yeke, you got to get prepared. Yeke always, look at what he do. At the end of the day, he end up asking them questions. Then he controls
smart
as a journalist, you should be controlled. Don't let an interviewee ask you questions. You should keep pushing the questions, but he's asking them questions. After he turn around, he turn the table on them. So this is where it is. So watch every video he had interview. He turn around on the table, turn the table around. So our journalists are not prepared when they're meeting Yeke, and they need to get researched. You got to be researched to go. Like what he told them. And look at what he told that. He told that young man. Like, did you see what the president Joe Biden did to him? Put a video on your business president. You should have sat in a specific where he has insulted the president. He failed to do that. Then he turned around. He didn't follow right history. So this is embarrassing to us. No. Honestly, let's be realistic here. We all into this thing. I did a bit of journalism. I mean, on the offline as a freelance. I know what I'm talking about. When you go to interview, you should be in control. The person that you're interviewing should know that you know your subject. Even if you don't know what you're doing, then let him put a question to you. You should not ask a question for him.
But then, Jamal, sorry for interrupting you. I mean, I agree with you, but then we'll go back to what we discussed earlier. The fact is, a lot of journalists in Liberia, as we speak, they are biased. They're like government. I see them as government-owned journalists.
No, it also has to be training.
So that's why Yeke is always, that's why Yeke always try to, to be in a position where he will make them look like, okay, now you are not doing your job, like you stating, like to make them understand that they're not doing their job, because questions they are asking, they're not being like fair, the way they ask questions, they're being partial.
And sometimes the guys, they go there to get a phone from Yeke. They love to hear Yeke talking.
Then that's not what we want. I don't want to hear that. Most people like me don't want to hear. They want not the fun part. You got to be genuine. You have to be realistic. You have to be unbiased, like my sister said. You need to. The people at the other end will know that you're coming up with something that you are not taking side. But they're not doing that. The question they're asking: if you want to be a journalist, be a journalist. You want to be a TV host or a job podcast person or show host, that's different thing. But if you are holding the microphone in your hand, you are a professional person. You're speaking to somebody as a lawmaker. What happened to people that are listening to you? You're speaking their minds. This is what we're talking about. This is being trained, trained. So they need some proper training so they're able to deliver something to what we want. What they're giving to us is a bunch of garbage in, garbage out.
Okay. I agree with you, and Jamal. The thing is, the men put a billboard. They should have asking questions.
The two candidates, right? Those are things that they missed. Two candidates. You got Honorable Joe Barker. You got Honorable
exactly.
Why are you carrying two Barker? Those are poor, but they focus on the guy. Like the front part, like they don't look at what the people out there watching to want to hear.
Yeah, and Yeke said something.
Did you, Paul? Wait, did you hear what he said? He said, pretty soon.
You offline, Linfo.
Go back. Come on, Linfo.
Yeah.
Your camera is
He said, pretty soon, we're going to have one ticket.
No, but that's you. You see, that was another generating another questions. Then you should dig deep.
Exactly. That's what I'm coming.
What are you coming for? Have you had any meeting later? What you expect going to be the next? If I was in that group,
who's the person on that
who's
ticket?
the thing we're looking at to see the pull on the ticket to be the candidate that come forward? Who is the presidential candidate is looking at? It says Joe Barker or Honorable Combs. Who come in second place? Then you get interesting. But you sat there, you just forgot about our whole question. He came out with a very good lead that should have you to ask very good questions for the people to follow. You know that I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about as a journalist. So, they missed the whole point. They went for something that is not interesting to anyone. You went, you
that's
saw
what I'm
the
telling
person.
you. They look for the fun in Yeke.
That's not
And you
fun.
see
That's
how
not something. In
you
this
see how
part,
you get the fun with that too. So oh,
you're
man, look
gonna
at
do
your
that.
beer looking at bro. Look at beer
You're
looking
gonna
at
do that
bro.
to people like Costa when you're on the show. You gotta pull your leg to come out something, or people like Prophet Key to come out some information you like to understand. But yeah, if you hold a microphone in your hand, you are representing an institution. You're being announced as a professional person because you're a journalist. You should ask questions that people out there, not for you. You get out of the picture, speak for the people that listen or that are watching you. Now you ask questions that are not relevant.
So now, you can post something out there. Generally, asking question. So God and me now can speculate.
Of course.
That's
Yes, depending on him to
What's
give
your
you
guess?
more information.
What's your guess about the one ticket?
that's
you don't know.
that's something.
How will
So
you know? Anybody can guess. That's why anybody guesses is
but
good
that's
as
what
mine.
that's what I'm asking. What's your guess? What's your speculation?
my speculation
Homer
here
Barker will
is
retire and turn over the Kumis.
exactly that's my speculation because he's not
You
well.
see it?
He's
I
not
hope
well.
so.
What do you mean
When I
hopeful?
talk-
That's the dream. That's coming true.
Yeah,
That dream coming
that,
true.
no, but
So-
I think the puppet cannot.
we can see
Your video is
Orita.
out, Orita.
So the thing here is
I think
when
we
I
have it.
talk about the fourth estate in Liberia, I keep seeing this. The fourth estate in Liberia, they're so compromised to the core that the thing they're supposed to do, they can't do it. And this is a classic example today. You can
I will
make a
not.
big
This
revelation.
is where
I know you're a
all this.
journalist, but I will keep
Yeah, but
going
this is
after
where
the
you and
fourth
I
estate.
always. This is where we always
Let me
disagree.
flow. Let me flow.
No, but
Because
do not say they are compromised. Just say they are not
they
free.
are compromised, and you're
Paul,
not going to
Paul,
see now.
Paul,
They are
Paul,
compromised to the
Paul,
hardcore.
I think I agree with Linford. This word compromise should not be the point here. Compromise
Wait
that
a
you're
minute.
taking
What?
money,
Let me
you're giving
flow.
up.
Let me
Like,
flow.
okay.
I've been seeing a thing for years that the fourth
Explain.
estate in Labret compromised until they start doing the right thing.
Okay,
Then I will
explain to
talk
me
about it.
today. Explain to us today.
My man. George, we are invited the inner scene for Coca Church a few days ago, gave the hand. I will talk about it. I said, look, if you have a code of conduct, you have for ethics, you know that this guy is not pastor. You go in a church and sit down for him to pray over you. That tells me something about the fourth estate. I've been seeing it from years. The fourth estate in Liberia, something not right with them. And these are, they are cartoon pusher journalists, and I will say it to the core. Now, a proper journalist like you, like Jamal, Yeke made a big revelation today. Sitting there, people asking, oh, the president, you always insult the president. He turned the question. The place ought to capitalize on. He said, wait a minute, what the purpose of the poster? You said something just now, there will be one ticket that the ruling establishment afraid of. Who would be this person on the ticket? You missed that point. And this is the connoisseur journalism I'm talking about. And that's the
but
fact.
that does not make
My
them
man, you're
compromised.
compromised. You're taking to
It's
the
only
court that
because they are
man.
not free.
Paul, can I come in, please? We just said something. The word, it's a solid worship. I'm thinking like it's attributed to poor training. That's what I think. There are some sound, I know with due respect, there are some sound and respected journalists in Liberia. I can tell you that.
Agreed.
There are very, very good ones there that you and myself been talking, I think, over years. We used to admire journalists, and now I'm growing up, but listen to many good ones. And they also left their mark behind. They trained people. With all due respect, Liberia have good journalists. But let me tell you something. The recent one happening right now, with the proliferations of radio stations, no system in place, no law, anybody can grab microphone and say you're a journalist.
Right.
And go stand there and enjoy abuse to perfection, where the PL, the President of Liberia, has no control over. Let's agree. Most of those people that are there, they are not even journalists. They are pretending to be journalists with microphone, Facebook, photo hosts. They tend to be journalists, but they are not. If you check them, they are not representing any institution.
They are not.
No, I'm just to tell you, Paul, what they say. Like, so, I work in a print media in Liberia. I'm not a radio journalist, but I work in the print media. I know what we used to go cover stories. We know you have to carry a press tag or press badge. You have to be fully represented. You need to know your institution will send you. Because any mistake you make, you're gonna be reprimanded for it. But what is started happening in our country right now is the people are not being fully trained. The people that are going out there to ask those questions that we and myself want to know, they didn't have the proper training. So compromise is out of the question. There are issues when journalism, journalists take sides. Let me tell you something. You should understand that today. An institution will say we are aligned with this particular political party. They can do that on the editorial policy by the institution to do. So if you keep saying compromise, that's a different thing. They can say we align with the policy, not like they are buying them, but they believe in that party ideology. They believe that party will deliver for that country, for that particular institution. So that particular institution, that journalist or that particular institution like a radio or TV or newspaper can say, this is our candidate. We will push the line of the candidate without being given money to.
Let me come in.
I want to answer the question of being compromised. So you can't call them compromise. They have the right.
I gave example of John Weah Church and took them to Jamaica Resort.
So it could be John Weah journalists. It could be John
No, it's not John Weah journalists.
There could be people that
No, leave. Can I? Sorry, gentlemen. Let me come in. You were saying something, Jamal, and the thing is that in every how you call it? Okay, let's talk about the journalists. Occupation. They have ethical, rules and regulations, and those ethical rules and regulations. You as a journalist, you should always abide by it. That's why you see certain profession.
But don't confuse. You're confusing something here. No, you're confusing something here. You're confusing. No, what you call ethical? What is ethics? Says, listen, I'll tell you what is ethics.
The ethics part, the ethics part is the fact is that like the journalists now, all these journalists who are always trying to interview Yeke, you understand? For them, they are not doing their job because they're already. You can hear from the way the person they are already bought. They are already bought by the government. So for me, every time I see it, they are doing the government job to try to ridicule people. They are intervening, but Yeke is the only one. Yeke put stop to that. You understand? Because the past 5 years, we see how some of them, even with this, I know Flomo and Stanton crew, like when their bogus court case was going on. Look how that little boy was like, referring to Mr. Cummings. I mean, they are not following, the ethics of
Dorita, I'm not going to argue what you're saying. I do agree some of them are not. That's why I said to you, if you're listening to me, most of those people that are holding microphone that are going before those people, they may not be journalists. They may not be journalists, and they're using the profession to get to it. Anybody can grab at this time in Liberia with no structure in place. Anybody can grab a microphone and go stand with the Facebook, with the camera. I mean, with the how do you say that? With telephone. And say that they are journalists and ask questions. They don't have any journalist press patch, nothing. There are a lot of them around. If you want to listen to a journalist, real radio, there are a couple of radio stations I will refer you to. One is ERBC. That's my big government institution. I respect that institution. I listen to it every 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. They give you news. Listen to the quality of news to present. You are a trained journalist. That's by being government-run institution. Listen to what they report. It's up to the government, the very legislature, to let all politicians, because we pay taxes to that very institution, to use that facility to make use of it. That's a law, different law. But those guys, if they report the news, you see how they report the news compared to those guys.
There's different thing you bring here. It's not about reporting news here.
I don't want to be ethical here. I want to be ethics here in something like you should not
we know there is a press here in Liberia. If somebody come out to be some kind of qualified point, say you're journalist, because that's what makes them for us. They are powerful. I can just wake up, say I'm journalist, I can be sued. So where is the press union?
When I say the PLU have the resources to go.
Those are the things I'm talking about.
The PLU has the resources to go behind every press conference and check everybody who is carrying the badge.
Well, a minute. This is Capitol building. They have press people over there. So no any concerned person will just walk into Capitol.
It was outside, Paul. It was not inside.
I said the fourth estate been compromised, and this is what I come from. I'm not talking about.
Okay. Can I just come in? Our time is fast. Can I come in with my little professional idea? You see, it's very easy to say the press is compromised. Paul, I just want to ask you, what if the press begin to promote Mr. Cummings? Are you going to say they are compromised?
I would say the entire press decided to give their support behind Mr. Cummings. You know, me and you know, in journalism, and we have for institutions say, look, this institution like Clear TV or Clear radio station, you know that it will be for a particular person. You know that the ELBS that you work for, ELBS, we have always took side with the ruling establishment. They not compromise. ELBS. They are, so don't tell me no, they are, because no other opposition can go to ELBS. So if only the ruling establishment will go campaign at ELBS, it's facts.
No, I will prove you wrong. I will prove you wrong.
What proved me wrong?
LBS used to have even program for other political parties.
Used to. Thank you.
Yeah, but no.
That was now they compromise. I keep saying
no, but you see, the thing is, and you guys were talking about ethic. There is no in the journalistic creed or in the ethic, there is nowhere that says that there is nothing in the ethic that says that a journalist cannot I don't know, because if you accuse them, you say they are compromised. It's like, okay, you sat the president, the president inviting the journalist to a house. There is nowhere that says that president or head of state of any country cannot invite journalists to their house or to their edifice. No, there is nothing there that says that. Now, listen, I will tell you something. The Great America, the White House, they always have some dinner for the journalists, okay, where they all sit down and drink with the president and talk, and that's something they call what's the name for that? Yeah, but it's like it's like, you know, what's it?
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, but I'm coming.
Yeah.
So the president can invite the press, and at that time, it's the time where the president will be
for them. At his church and pray for them.
Man. What are the men pray for them on that? What are the men? So okay, so now I ask you, so the journalists that went there, because all the media institutions went there, so and they pray for them. So if these people read any good article about Mr. Cummings, what are we going to say? Mr. Cummings being our political leader.
No, let me say something here, Linford. I live in a country that practices journalism. You see, BBC is a state-owned institution. BBC does not take side with anyone. In Liberia, let me finish, because you talking, you just mentioned America.
All of the political leaders in the UK. Yeah, do they have slot on BBC? Does the BBC get equal coverage like the state?
Yes.
Yes, they do. Even in the Norway you live in, that's why I wanted to ask you a question. Paul, can I just come in? Linford, you know that, you know, here, okay, in Scandinavia, is that when it comes to a lot of things, we will have our own rules in country. But the thing is that when it comes to the work of a journalist, the fact is that even they have, like, you know, because we have kingdom, the queen, you know, in Norway, you know, so the fact is that they have their own, like, they call it domtidningen. You know, these are, you know, news coverage and newspaper that, you know, how do you call it? Like, their work is to just, you know,
cover the first family that I know.
Exactly. But the thing is that, the thing is that you're not biased. When a royal, if it's a drug scandal, they publish it. They don't say, oh, just because, you know, we are hired to just, they don't just put out, you know.
Jemai was talking about the news. I know the news on the news on ERBC will also carry the drug that will.
You guys need to listen to ERBC. Linford, let me make some clarification. Paul made just now with BBC. Paul, to let you know, BBC is not compromised. I agree. But you know, BBC is being paid by you and myself. Government is not paying BBC.
I agree. That's I want to give you something. BBC also is had an independent institution. It's an autonomous agency by itself. It's not being run, interfered by the government. Do you know that?
I know that.
Okay, that's why BBC is powerful. And also to let you know, if you don't know, BBC does not carry, BBC in the UK does not carry any adverts. No advert on BBC.
Government advert.
No, they don't carry advert. I know that.
We pay, everybody pay TV license link for any household. You pay TV license like £13 every month. So yeah, how many million people pay £13 every month? That goes to BBC management of BBC. So BBC is then paid by the taxpayer. So BBC is not allowed some things you put on BBC. You will not see something like when accident take place right now. There's a bloody something here. BBC won't run it. There are some that BBC got restricted stuff because of the audience. So BBC is an independent institution, independent voice, independent decision makers. So BBC not being interfered by the government. So every politician has a slot on that BBC. So that's what we are saying here. The ERBC is a government owned, and we pay by some the Liberian people pay taxes to ERBC, but they are not implementing as it is. But we are not. We are saying also that we are not saying that some people are not compromised. What we are saying that there are also poor training involved. Some journalists, and also you should also understand that some journalists, some people seem present themselves to be journalists. They are not journalists. They're also using the profession to get the name out there. Another thing you also know, if you look in the West here, most radio and TV stations, they have alignment. Look at Fox News in America. Yeah, look at here, all CBS. Look at CNN is almost Democrat. Look at Fox is almost Republican. They have major cable TV. Look in UK here, all the major newspapers and the radio stations are all got alignment political parties. So what we are saying here, they are creating stories straight to the line, but their presentation could be different. So the word compromise, that's our problem with Paul. The problem is
preference. A taxpayer institution, ERBS, is paid by the taxpayer. Me and you pay taxes.
No, but you have been accusing all of the journalists. You have been accusing all the journalists in Liberia. That's a problem.
They are compromised.
You can say that.
So we have.
We need to give respect to some of them that did a good job, Paul.
We have how they call it, the press union of Liberia. Isn't that the end of there? They from all and get press union of Liberia because
it's not government autonomous agency. It's a
exactly.
No, but it's a professional institution. It's a professional institution.
To be a journalist. What the press union there for?
No, it's an institution.
Okay, imagine that the other day I was watching. There was this boy, two boys on a motorcycle coming from Pikana, and the police stopped them, or those guys at the gate stopped them on a bridge in right near Pikana City, on the St. John Bridge. When they were checking, they found out that they got some drugs on the motorcycle, and the driver who was driving the motorcycle, when they took the drugs, we were trying to investigate it all about. Then he ran and jumped in. When they were chasing, he jumped in the river. Then I saw a couple of people. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. We are bringing you live coverage. So in that instance, what do you expect the PUR to do? These are guys with phone, and they're giving most of the people that are interviewing here. They got no media institution. Nobody is responsible to edit their
Wait a minute, guys.
So if you
wait a minute, I say you're compromised. The journalists in Liberia compromised. Weah have traveled for 49 days, for 50 days. He come back. The journalists. Because they're so compromised, nobody can even ask a question, Mr. President. This is violation of the Constitution.
Did you read?
That's not compromise. So who compromised?
Because when you compromise, you don't ask questions.
Yeah, so who compromised?
Paul, did you read Africa front page news headlines about George Weah visit? Daily Observer? Those are newspapers that reported what happened.
You're talking about reading.
But this is all journalism. They're all journalists.
It's part of journalism, but I said it's compromised.
No, but did you read that story?
It's compromised until I see it.
No, this is a acquisition, Paul, which you need to take back because you are insulting professionals.
That's my opinion. I've seen it. That's my opinion.
Paul, no, it's not. It's a hard work in our country. We got some professional people in our country. They are diligent like journalists.
But they are compromised. This guy on OKFM who studied in the UK today, he always, my man, I say I've seen it. 1 minute, Ronnie Sia will write something good tomorrow. The next day is the institution is compromised. Until I see something going, I just don't even get me started.
Of course, they will not operate at your caprices and at your views and caprices.
Journalism doesn't work like that. You have to write.
It doesn't work like that. They will not report for you.
I know they're reporting for me, but they are compromised.
Boy, it doesn't work like that. They don't write story because how you want it. They write story how you want it.
They're not ready. I said, this ERBS, for example, that taxpayers have put their money. They always talk sweet thing about the government, and they know no opposition leader can go on ABS to say anything. The story always see the president traveled for 49 days. He's going to bring goodies, but nobody brave enough when the president enters it. But you
Okay, what about the independent news? What are independent newspapers and radio stations and all that thing?
My brother,
for example,
because I say your institution, the fourth estate, is compromised in Liberia. As long as the president invited into the church, they went to pray over there, and they know that he's not a pastor, and he told them the folklore Jamaica result, gave them some envelope that is compromised at the highest level.
I gave you some of a Coca-Cola, right?
Exactly.
when you are political interest, you don't foil the press. Let me just give you this warning.
But that one, I'm not that I can foil the press because I'm running for Jack.
No, you're not running for Jack, but
I'm not Donald Trump.
Time is fast spent. We need to try
to get influence. You don't watch on the
I
press.
understand. Paul said that gave Brown Evelyn and also gave the Coca-Cola made at Jamaica Resort. So
the day I rather run for District 8 Jalata and that area, now the press can take on me. I'm running for anything. I will say it the way I see it. The institution is compromised to the high court, and that is my point. It is the bottom line of all of this, and that's why I'm bottom line to say the truth until we have or journalists that are brave enough to go out Yeke Koluba, say the question, but they're not brave enough to ask this guy that running the country behind to asking questions. They are compromised, and that is my point. They will ask me the hard question, but they cannot ask Joe Weah hard question. That is the point. You put it wherever
where was Mr. Cummings and where was George Weah? Where are they?
Where was Mr. Cummings? Every day, Mr. Cummings, all the platform, they asking some silly question, but
yes.
When last you ever
listen.
Listen now, when last you ever had any journalist asking weird question in that country?
Cool down. When last did George Weah? Listen, when last did George Weah appear on T-Ma show? When last did George Weah appear on Spoon? When last did George Weah appear on all the other platforms like Mr. Cummings does?
And you did mention something about America, right? And I talked about the UK. When President arrived, they all lined up. The fourth estate is there. But nobody brave enough to carry the or stand far distance, Mr. President, to even say that word, Mr. President, because they compromise, they can't say it. That is the
so who compromising now?
Well, you tell me. Until
you're making an accusation.
It's the government because they're afraid to ask the government questions.
So the government go all in the street and they be compromising them.
When Samuel Twaden took office, they said we will weaponize the fourth estate. So that means when they use that word weaponize, they brand them so they have compromise. And that's my point. Because they're not brave enough to put the government for the fire or anything. And that's their road. That will make them fourth estate.
That's why I ask you whether you've been reading some of the newspaper. I got a lot of newspapers every day.
I've been reading the compromised newspaper, and that is the fact. I've been reading a lot of compromised newspaper. The front page, they focus on Africa, they did it or all of the institutions, they are compromised. And that's my point.
So they don't carry any good news.
Their news are just biased news.
Nothing
and
good.
So they are running for district.
Wait, let me just ask you. So they don't carry anything good news, any good news?
My man, their news, I don't, because their news
they do not carry any good news, yes or no? They want a straight question, yes or no?
When last they ever carry good news?
They never carry good news, yes or no? Then we'll close.
I mean, I already said the institution, they compromise. So let's move on. You're not going to change my view.
Okay, we are here. The day they carry good news from Mr. Cummings, will not carry. I mean, you will not carry. You say that.
I want good news for my country. There are a lot of bad things happening.
No, I'm talking about your country. I'm talking about our political leader. If they carry good news, what do you say?
My man, when people compromise, the day they want to carry good news, then when I see that good news,
not a day. You see, we got to give people their credit. The thing here is, you don't declare a war that you can't fight.
But wait, so this is my view, and you want me to change it? The institution is compromised. That's my view.
I'm telling you to. You see, you anyway. Saying say that your view.
Exactly.
It's not true. So your view is not true. That's simple.
All right.
As that. Yeah, good. Okay, so we hope one day. I hope I can bring some of the journalists on the show so you and them can talk Let's
Oh,
see. I think I'll
definitely.
have to do that.
And then they will have serious question and answer.
Okay. But it was a good show tonight, and I think we exhausted all, and I think we all crossed our line that Paul will attack the entire press corps in Nigeria, that they are compromised, and as also said George Weah does not think he got small mind, and we are just recapping, and then Jamal felt that Prince Johnson has been paid to play. And we can't deny that, because the president himself admitted that he's not giving anybody any money again. Eh? We're not giving you anything. Fasten. He said fasten. We're not giving you fasten. So it means that something has been going on. And so, on a serious note, guys, our country is heading the wrong direction. We are heading to elections. And with all of this happening, I can see chaos. It could not be big chaos, but the electoral process might even be blurred. The electoral process might end up in court. Something will happen. I don't know if you guys see what I'm seeing, but we are not on the right trajectory. Trust me.
Yeah, and you see, this bring me back to what I've been saying about the institution is compromised. This is the time. This government have violated over and over again. Up to today's date, voter registration have not started. Then we'll reach to the point when things go wrong. This is where now everybody will be talking. That's some we might have constitutional crisis the way I see things, the way it's going.
Yeah, but the press got nothing to do with that. The press got nothing to do with that. The press is made there to report.
When they say they what the press there for? When
the press is there to give you the information.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the press have been talking about the voter registration being delayed. The press have been talking about the census not on time and all these things. Why do you think the opposition are sitting down? They will want the press. Who in the press want to be president? Nobody.
No opposition sitting down, because I know there's an opposition leader that have been talking over and over about this.
Okay, and so why want the press to do?
Linford.
Yeah, the press cannot change anything.
Linford.
Yeah.
Man,
Can I ask Paul one question? Paul?
I'm here listening to you, Lord.
You hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
You hear me very well now?
Well,
ask a question.
How does the press get paid?
How does the press get paid?
How do they survive?
Well, you remember the fourth estate, you tell me.
I can't answer my own question.
Okay, then, so if you can get paid, you know that you employ to get paid, and you do a work for a particular institution, you get paid. You don't do it free. It's not free. So if you're doing it free, then that justify what I'm saying. You compromise. That means the government pay you to shut up.
You don't understand. Actually, you didn't answer my question again.
Paul, no, but I'm saying,
how do the press survive? How would the institution like a newspaper or radio station or TV station, how would they survive? How do they survive? How do they
especially independent ones?
How do they make their money?
Don't go to this independent one. LBS people are independent. Your taxpayer money, are they independent? Tell me.
Answer the question, Paul, please.
They get paid by the institution that employ them.
How the institution get paid? How they get their money? That's why.
Well, I know what EFBS, the taxpayer pay them to fund them, the government. So
how do independent generate revenue?
But I'm telling you now, EFBS have been funded by the taxpayer.
Look at
EFBS.
I've been compromised. My concern have been compromised. There may be
other institution.
Let's say agree that independent newspaper or independent TV or radio. How do they generate revenue?
Newspaper sell.
Where?
Oh, why you say how they generate? That's what the newspaper is not free newspaper. They sell that newspaper to generate money.
Paul is not in position to answer the question. Let's go on, guys.
But man,
yeah, but you see, if you are going to talk about ELPC that is being paid by government, the director general is appointed by the government, all of the deputies are appointed by the government. If you say they are compromised, then I will not have much argument, because what? They are government run institution, they are paid by government. But you look at I take my phone, I set up my office, okay? I pay my staff. I have to decide who I will interview. I got editorial
So when the
policy.
government, because you're independent, government come and give you big money.
Why you know government giving money? So
that's what I'm saying.
The poor boy that in the street and working with his
I
cell phone.
mean, they don't bring poor boy business into journalism. Let's close the issue because when people are compromised, they don't really hear the truth. And the thing is, the whole institution is compromised. And I stick with my until we see good out of the institution.
But of course, they will not dance to your song. So yeah, they will not dance. So you still up being ain't no there. I know my boy. Of course.
I get Orita left already. She got special guest tomorrow.
Orita is out. So, but I want to say thank you very much for those of you who have been watching us. Even though at the end of the program we try to move around a little bit, Paul just want to pull our legs, but he knows that we are not compromised. And see, when the press start reporting good thing about ANC, Paul will be dancing all around. So United Party will say, Mr.
No, not ANC per se. When they start going after Joe, where I see him how he managed to build 49 condominium, because we know in 205 when Eddie then went for election,
the press can actually high money. Let me tell you one thing. You can actually high money build a condominium and say I took the money from my pocket, I pay, I build it, it finished. So when the press will go in there.
I can tell you the first election when he and Eddie ran. You know that he declared his asset. You know that we have that document.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah,
so it's there. So for those, so don't even go there with me
no,
on that.
But wait, I just asking you. So if the press asking today, how you got the money? You say I took it from my pay, or I credited it to build it up.
They
So
were asking to declare his asset because he didn't declare his asset. So
the Liberian Constitution should be asking George Weah to declare his asset, not the press. The press is
why
there.
Press can't ask?
No, the press can ask him. He say, "I'm not declaring my asset." What you do? So you
the press can continue asking.
So what do? Okay, Paul. If I ask you, why you come to Norway today? I'm a president. You say because I didn't particular to go, or I don't want to visit. I'll continue to ask you whole day.
No. Why should I go to Norway in the first place?
Okay, but yeah, they're answering me now.
Yeah, so I gave my answer.
Yeah,
but this now the thing is, I'm not a public servant, so I can answer you. But the person, I say, he served the people. Your public servant, he in it. So we pay him to serve you. All right to know.
Okay. Let me make it easy for you. Easy example. I go to Liberia today. I take the microphone. I say, George, we are high money to pay the condominium. He say, I credited money from the pen, or that my salary I used to pay. One more I want.
You follow up. But you didn't declare as Mr. President, so we want to become he can't get
look, ask him. Make yourself a journalist, ask him.
No, I'm not a journalist. You're the journalist. You need to ask that question.
Let me answer my question.
As long as the journalists in Liberia compromise, they start doing the right thing, then we'll talk for them.
Okay, let's get out of here.
So let me make an announcement. I think Orita got Perfect Key tomorrow on a special edition.
Yeah.
Then on Friday we're back here. So, and you want to talk about Norway? I mean Sweden. Then we'll go.
Yeah, sure.
So you can take us through. Maybe Jamal will throw highlight on this thing. So you're a journalist. You can ask me question on this one when it comes to this. So I'm not being on you guys, but
I think there was a very good show.
You got bar echo.
Hello.
Little more.
Jamal, can you take us through with this, please?
Jamal does not come from the Scandinavia.
All right, Flo, then name for.
Yeah, I still have echo, do I?
Yeah,
it's okay.
Okay, our time is actually fast spent, but this is very important. The picture you see there, the man you see on that flyer is Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time today on Bottom Line, Mr. Cummings is a standard bearer of the CPP, and he's in a race to become the next president of Liberia. Mr. Cummings has been traveling all around the place, going to America, or in Liberia, or in the villages. And so we in Europe invited Mr. Cummings last year in Germany. And now we have also invited him this year to come to the northern part of Europe, in Scandinavia. So Mr. Cummings is coming here on the 14th of April. He will be in Sweden, Stockholm to be exact, and he will be there until the 16th. And Mr. Cummings will be there to okay, sorry for that interruption, but Mr. Cummings is going to be there to throw light on why he wants to be president of Liberia. For those of you who have this question, because a lot of people ask this question, we watched that question in Germany. People say, why you want to be president of Liberia? Okay, and so Mr. Cummings will be there to give reason why he wants to be president of Liberia, and he will also be there to encourage other Liberians, to explain to Liberians how Liberia could be, the vision that he has for Liberia. So this will be your opportunity. If you live anywhere in Europe, you are welcome to be in Stockholm on the 14th of April. We're talking about just 1.5 months away to be precise. And then Mr. Cummings will sit down with people and talk and listen to them. So it's your opportunity to ask him or to make suggestions to him how you feel Liberia should run. And Mr. Cummings is not one of those politicians who will come and try to build barricade around him. No, that I can show you. You have personal interaction with him. So come and spend that weekend with us, April 14th to the 16th, and we'll have real fun time. We're going to do some fundraising. So if you are coming, make sure that you can come with the spirit to contribute to the program. And we'll continue to inform you as we move forward to the program time. It's April 14th in Stockholm, Sweden. Mr. Cummings will be there. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you there. Any question that you have concerning this program, you can let us know here on Bottom Line. You can ask your question in the chat or on the live feed, and we can try our best to answer you. And by way of information, we are also on radio. As we're talking now, we are going on live on the radio. So if you do have the opportunity to say probably you are at work, you cannot put on your video, just follow us on the radio. And the man responsible for the radio is Mr. Jamal Kamara. You see there. He's the engineer for the radio, and probably he wants to throw light on how it works. Okay. And Jamal just posted a link. This is the radio here. It's an online radio. So it's very simple. If you get your headphone, you just download the link there. You enter right away. It ain't got no restriction, nothing. And you will listen to news from Liberia. You will listen to music 24 hours. You can even keep your headphone in your ear and sleep. Or if you're on that shift, you can continue listening, because that one, like when on a night shift, the radio will keep you up. So, Paul, I think our time is fast spent. You want to take us home?
Yeah, before Paul takes us home, guys, we also, for the other part of the radio, we are on the Google Play Store. You can download Borderline app on the Google Play Store. We're working on the we're working on the iOS, which is the iPhone apps. But for now, you can download. If you got Android applications, you can download, or you just go on your Google Play Store, type in the Borderline Liberia, the Borderline Liberia. You'll download us there. We got an app. We're on Borderline. We're on Google Play Store. You can download our app, and you can listen to our 24/7. We're basically Liberian music, Liberian news, and also anytime we're on this platform, we are live on the radio. Also, we are on 24/7. And just to let you know, like my colleagues have said, tomorrow, guys, special show will be Prophet Key will be coming on, and will also be live on the radio. On the 22nd, we'll have an artist called Alonzo. Alonzo will be there with one of our co-hosts here, Mary Massacre will be hosting him. He's an artist, and he's a young artist, and he'll be, without you, will be coming on the 22nd. We'll be showing you a poster on that very soon. But just keep around, stay tuned. You're going to get the best of this is the only Liberian platform, diaspora in Europe, that we say anything we want to say, and we also have the opportunity to come here and say what you want to say. Thank you.
And do not let the name Prophet Key drive you away. Prophet Key is going to be a very disciplined gentleman. We have had him before. He was very disciplined. No bad word here tomorrow. So do not think that, oh no, they're bringing a bad man. No. Prophet Key is going to behave himself just like each and every one of us here. No bad word, no insult. We'll discuss the issue.
Probably, just to let you, Prophet Key got too many characters. When he on different show, he looks. He's a gentleman by himself. But you know, the kind of thing our society like. You got people with different. A lot of people. He's very bombastic. He's people like him. He has followers, and he said the right thing at some point, but people disagree. You got people, even the great prophets that came, the Jesus Christ, the Muhammad, the Moses, the Abraham. The people didn't agree with them. So there are other people who agree with you. So that's how life it is. So it is what it is. So yeah, Linford, it was a great show, Paul.
Yeah.
I think it was a great show. So let's wait to see what happened tomorrow. And on the 22nd, so we ask everybody to share the show wherever you are. This is the Department of Liberia, your own Liberian platform based in Europe.
Okay. So it was good being here again. On that note, I think I will go with the Buka dance and then we can close the show and then we'll meet tomorrow by God's grace.
In the meantime, you intro the press.
Oh, yes. When I'm running for District 8, they can come after me, but before then, that's different story.
I get all your video. I'll bring it all. I sit in there.
When